again. He does it again. And you can read into it however you want to. We don't. It's always going to be a little bit cryptic. And welcome everybody. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Roaring Kitty tweeted Time Magazine cover, and it just says 109 420. So could it mean January? Look, I took a shot at this. I'm like, okay, if it opens and holds the halt price, I'll take a 29 entry with a halt price stop. So I took a shot at it. That's before it went to 30. And then 30 and a half. So I took my shot on the reopen. But again, what does he mean? January 9th, 420, something's going to happen. January 9th, I'm getting into weed stocks. Who knows? What I can tell you is GameStop's at least holding on some volume, but it's only went up like 10, 11%. You're up 5 points here on GME. The thing about Roaring Kitty is it's not like we're going to get another update. Like, he's not going to clarify this at all. At least I don't think. Like, you're just going to get this one tweet, and then we're out in the ether trying to figure it out. So unless we're really squeezing past, like, 30, holding 30s, breaking 32s, I guess we're kind of in a bit of a hold mode and a wait and see. But while you were gone, I mean, overall, yeah, the other thing that happened is the market decided to make a right turn. And I say right turn heading to the downside. Like, we're testing lows on the Nasdaq as we speak. So that's problem one in the overall market, and why maybe there is going to be some interest in a squeeze name, given what the market is going to be doing here. And then the other side of the coin, okay, maybe whatever. That's a bad pun. Bitcoin is at 100,100. So we are at 100,000 now. So I know everyone's looking, okay, fine, not everybody, but a lot of people might be looking at what's going on with Roaring Kitty. We're at 100,000 right now. This is where the rubber hits the road. I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm going to be looking at IBIT for this kind of a move, if we do a false breakdown of 100,000 on Bitcoin, meaning you make a low, break 100,000 out, and then regain it. And as that happened, okay,
everything is tanking.
Everything's tanking because my stop just hit on Tesla in front of 368. Well, I guess I got a good out there. But yeah, the next thing I'm looking at, 100,000 on Bitcoin. So if 100,000 gets broken, I'll look for like failed break, regain 100,000, look for that reversion long. We're here right now. I kind of feel like that's maybe more interesting than GameStop because we're not going to know what he means by that for quite some time, is my guess.
I mean, it shot up to $30, and now it's back to 28. Like, it's not that big of a move, guys. It's up like 7-8%. It's like, it's nothing, but it is exciting. Anyways, needless to say, look at it. That's what we're here for, right? We're here to trade names that are moving around and give you guys the best information we can. All right, so there goes Tesla. It does break 68. That was my out right there. We were longer again on Tesla. Tesla's going to be an absolutely huge stock, but at the end of the day, it just failed off of that little break right there. We tried the long. It failed. We're out of it right there. Nice move down there for Tesla. Anybody looking at this? I mean, we have a bunch of outs. Because we reloaded it there at 60, we reloaded 68.40, then we got out right there on that dump down. I'm not sure exactly the price that I have here or anything like that. Sorry, how many shares I had at that time, but we had basically kept obviously our whole day there on Tesla. That was a nice move down. All right, the whole market right now, and I think that look at Bitcoin right here, 100 coming into play as we speak. So this is going to be a problem. Here's Bitcoin right now with the 1 minute chart. Right there, there is also an earthquake in California. We hope everybody is okay.
That's what's this? Oh my goodness, there was a tsunami warning, but I didn't realize where the hurricane.
Yeah, earthquake.
No, sorry. There was a
hurricane.
There was a tsunami warning issue.
Oh, maybe off the Pacific then? I don't know exactly, but just heard it in our ears. So we'll hope that everybody is safe there, obviously. And those of you that are watching on the West Coast would probably be able to inform us more. All right, so there's Bitcoin right here. I mean, we don't really need to zoom in too much. Actually, I'm going to do a 5 minute chart just to give us a little bit better look on this. So here's it basically, again, this is Bitstamp, but it looks like it came right in, like 100 and 120, like 100, 125. I don't even know really how to say that. 100,000, 125 came into play right there. So that's basically the bounce flat off of 100. So now up $500 off of that. The last move down, or if we have a move down, this is 99. So we really got going off of that yesterday at this time, when this happened at this time. Yesterday in the afternoon, we had a nice ramp up there on Microsoft talking, while Saylor and so on and so forth, mentioning that, hey, Microsoft, maybe you guys would be performing much better if you had Bitcoin. But at the end of the day, let's see if it holds this 100 mark. And then we talked about where IBIT was, and now we can actually see what price IBIT is going to be at when crypto goes to 100. So 57. So I think I said 56 before. Yeah, so it just bounced. Yeah, so 50, so I'm gonna say 57. So basically, 57. You know, a breaking of 57 will be something there for crypto. You're gonna wanna look at 56.80. I think Neil's going to be right. And then we're just hearing more stuff about GME. Oh man, it's always tough. It's always great to trade these names when they're doing this because it's giving us reasons to do this. But at the end of the day, 7.5 earthquake. That's huge.
Where was the epicenter? That's 7.5 is huge. Where was it? 7.5.
I mean, we just heard California. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact. I'm a little bit not happy with that. That's significant.
7.5.
So I have I have family in Fresno, but I don't know. We'll see. San Andreas, yeah. Santa Rosa.
Hope everyone's safe.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's, obviously, I mean, we all think that and we want everybody to be safe. So, all right, let's go back over. Let's just start the show off here with a talk about what is upcoming and what stocks you want us to look at.
Yes, sir.
It's Sharif. He's at the screen.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about. Join Joe and I during the How to Trade show and get into the chat. Every day, you're going to have two polls, one at 11, one at 12:30. You'll have your say every day. Then the big kahunas, Neil and Sean, will look at the tickers for you. Let's start with a look at the major averages. They're all in negative territory. The NQ down 0.26. The Russell the ES basically flat, down 0.9. The Dow down 0.3. And the Russell taking it on the chin again, 1% in negative land. This is a look at the triple Qs right now. But let's look at the first ticker, though, as decided by you, TSLA. Big move up today for Tesla, breaking through local highs off the back of this Bank of America security upgrade and boosting the price target to $400, guys. They love AI, they love robotics, they love Tesla.
AI. I love robotics. I love Tesla. I agree with all of those statements.
You know, we love all of that, I guess.
I had to think about it for a second. I mean, I don't have, look, you have a Roomba. I don't even have any of those. I've never tried the Roomba. And when they do eventually, when Optimus comes around, I will probably not be the first person to have it. I'm always cool with the second generation for something like that because I've read too much Isaac Asimov. No, but Tesla was great today. And it's one of those where, 52-week high was just underneath 362 and it broke it out. So obviously the breakout trade was a good one. And these big breakouts lately have been fantastic. We're back to getting fills on them instead of missing them. There was like 2 or 3 in a row on Tesla and Nvidia a couple of weeks ago where everyone's punching and no one's getting any fills unless you cross $1. So today it was no problem getting the fill, scalp into 65, and then every couple of dollars after that. It did check up there at 375. No, I was not actually short. That was a loss on a long trade. And then I was just dipping into 368 multiple times. The last one, however, it ran the stop. So I'm out of this now, and it's underneath VWAP. I'd like to see it regain VWAP. I feel like maybe we just spooked under that 100,000 test. Maybe you got a little bit of a spook there, and we can regain VWAP and go back to what was happening normally on Tesla. But it was like Tesla was, that's the kind of trade where you line up these kind of breaks, and even if you hit 1 out of 5 of them, like this one's good enough that it'll pay for a bunch of others, right? Like as bad as Palantir 70 was, it was a different story, but Tesla was fantastic today, no question. Good look for anyone that was in that long. I wish I could tell you I was short at that top, but I wasn't thinking short at 75.
Just real quickly here, what up to Nate? He asked me if I would talk about this. Look, this Osiris has been, it's Oriental Rise Holding, ORIS. It's halted like 1 million times today. It's 5 million share float. The short float is about 100,000 shares according to this. It's up 165%. Really no news on this one, but I said that I would go for it with you. So there it is right there. And I have no idea where or when this is going to open up, but just, I got to get rid of this. I'm trying to minimize it, but I'll deal with that after. Okay. You asked about the tap. I don't know how real this tap is. It's saying $70. The last actionable trade on this was, I think it was been halted for an hour. So it's been halted for almost an hour. So 130 there on ORIS. I would just say beware anybody trading ORIS here. You got to watch out. Again, just for how volatile it is. So just be careful with that one. And thanks for bringing it up there, Nate. All right, it's fine. I know this great kid that I coached T-ball, and then I wish I would have been able to draft him into the Little League, but I didn't. Yeah, his name was Nate. Great. He is great. All right, so huge move up there off 263. I mean, it was a fantastic move on Tesla. Nice move up to the upside, man. Our best out is 75s. I mean, that's $12. We tried it again right here. Was able to make some money on that first VWAP taken in around 360, 370, 368, 370. And then all of a sudden right now, we just tried again. And unfortunately, this happened. And you could see why I say unfortunate, because we went long there and dropped out for like 50 cents worth of a hit, but now it would be about $2 in the money off that 368. So yeah, I think it's going to continue to work, man. I really like the stock, and of course that stock is Tesla. It's going to be the trade of the week for next week, so stay tuned for that. Off of, look at this, man. Now it's at 370. I think I got more water in my ear today.
Wow, they just
still going higher here is Tesla. So, all right, the one that everyone's very, very interested in. Let's go find out the story with GameStop.
Yeah, we're still kind of trying to decipher the whole thing there, Sean. I don't have the Time Magazine picture. There it is. Thanks, Fabian. That Roaring Kitty tweeted or posted on his X. Kind of a bit of a mystery what's going on over here, but GameStop moving up. But I want you guys to also keep your eye out on AMC. It's coming. It's breaking into the highs. We know from back in the meme craze that these two stocks kind of move together, guys. So GME, AMC, both on the move.
With myself right now.
Not wrong.
Because the reason I'm angry with myself is there was a patented opportunity to do one thing and one thing alone, Neil. And that was just fade something instead of try to play GME. BlackBerry couldn't have given you much, but you know, whatever. It's a cheap stock. You could have taken a shot at that. AMC, that gave you a reversion play, but those aren't the ones. Like for Chewy to have caught it. Chewy, this is the reason why I'm mad at myself. Here you have a stock that was weak the last couple of days after earnings, was trending down, and then because of an ambiguous tweet, that's the way we're going to frame this, because of an ambiguous tweet.
I mean, it's not specific?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Well, I mean, to him, it's probably very specific. Because if you know, like,
or not.
He knows what he's
or not. I mean, go. You finish what you're
okay, no,
it's just I'll figure it out.
It's where this turned, because I like
to get the words out over here. The guy can't even get that. I mean, this is how this is.
But look at the chart of Chewy, 3180 once, twice, thrice on GME. Roaring Kitty tweet goes up here, mean revert back to low, trending down stock goes up for reasons that are a little bit nonsensical. Instead of going over to GameStop, I'll get there in a second because I took a hit on it. You could have just said, just shorten Chewy, man. Or BlackBerry, or whatever, as it tries to go into a resistance level. Then you get probably like 31.75 short, 15 cents risk, and it goes right back into the low of the day, which is pretty much what it was doing before. So a lot of times we get a little bit, and whatever. Like to be honest, I could have just had a wider stop in GameStop and won, but that's not the point, because I feel like there's less risk in the Chewy short than there is in the GameStop long. So ultimately, I could have had a winner if I just held it more against me on GameStop, or I could have just traded an easier trade, which is a revert. So GameStop is running, on the daily, I think we showed $32 is a big squeeze level, potentially. So last time, Roaring Kitty, 32 was resistance. Recently, it was 32. So I think 32 is going to be a big level here for GME. Yeah, who knows what he means by it. Maybe on January 9th, 420, the aftermarket show is going to be a banger as he announces something. I don't know. Or it could mean something else. I don't know.
Somebody will figure it out.
Yeah.
No, the reason what I want to get involved with that sort of a post was just what we talked about in previously, right? I mean, he had come through. Oh, I have a new trade. I did not get filled. I thought I punched long on Shopify. All right, I wanted to try Shopify off this 114 area. I thought I was long. I thought I was going to say I'm long 35s. I guess I did not get filled. I tried to punch 35s, and I guess I missed them. But anyways, okay, if this falls back in, new trade alert, hopefully coming through on Shopify. That's going to be a new trade for me. Trying to hold this through this 114 area. So again, VWAP just held. Like it came on the VWAP scanner there, brought to you by eSignal. Yeah, so I really, again, I liked it. Don't have it. Thought I did. Shopify, if it does come back in, we'll have that. Oh, that's too bad. I thought I got filled. I'm looking over now. I only have Google. It's not like I'm not trying to say that I got filled. I didn't. All right. So GME. Look, and what I was going to say is I remember that last tweet that he had come out there where he was, or not the tweet, that YouTube extravaganza that he had that was really, really stream. Yeah, broadcast, whatever it was there. It was a lot of fun. And for me, I think that's probably what he's going to do again. And I wonder if that 420 means I mean, maybe he'll smoke some weed on the stream. I have no idea what he's going to do. That could be like the theme of it. Like, I don't know what that means. But for me, if you're going to look at GameStop, it's my opinion. It's Neil's opinion. It doesn't matter who's real, whose opinion we're talking about right now. But you got to trade what's in front of you. And right now, GameStop on the daily chart, it looks like it has a top here at $31. So I know that this doesn't tell you 31, this tells you 60. But right here, we've come up a couple times, hit this 31.30, and not been able to break 32. So for me, I love the stock. I love what's happening right now. We want to trade names that have volume, that have catalysts, that have all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's a long in this area. I think it's a long once we break 32. So I'm here for that. So I'm going to put an order in. If we break 32, I think it's worth the long. I don't think we're ever going to be getting a pushback into this area. So we'll have to wait to see if that comes through. But for right now, like 27, 28, this is a daily. So if we're just going to look at it from here. Yeah, I mean, we've already fallen back. That's 29. VWAP right now is hovering at 28.50. I think that's a good trade too. 28.50 back in. Give it to this sort of local break of 27.50. So I think 28.50 long, I'll stamp that. I like that trade. But I also like the break of 32 if it can get going there. GameStop up 10%, not really overly surprising when there's going to be an actionable trade from Roaring Kitty there, Keith Gill. I'm gonna have to watch that again. That was I quite enjoyed that.
As long as we don't have to remember. No, I remember it very closely because it was that stream was easily I think it was that week. It was easily my worst trading day.
Oh yeah.
And it was entirely going long in GameStop when really almost. And it was funny because every place that we were scalping out profit at that one, it was that one resistance high. It was like. He's not on the stream yet. He's not on the stream yet. You could have just been scalping out.
Why is it going live?
There was an obvious resistance level we could have been shorting, and then he doesn't start the stream on time, and it just whatever. It is what it is. But hey, everybody.
Take us some more Google.
Trade the Pool allows stock traders like you to get evaluated and trade real shares using the company's capital with no PDT rule holding you back. You could trade GameStop if you want. Trade the Pool has just launched a limited edition program for a one-time fee of just $300. You'll receive $80,000 in buying power and the chance to become a funded trader. Hit a profit target of just 4%, and you'll start trading with the company's capital. Get funded faster and easier with the new conditions designed for success. And the best is the profit split's been upgraded to a generous 70%, so you keep more of what you earn. Don't wait. Check it out now and see how Trade the Pool can help you trade bigger and better. Scan the QR code you see there. Click the link in the description. Shout out to Trade the Pool. Yeah, I like the cameo they had in that one video. I was telling, who was I telling? No, it was like our neighbors. We were discussing like back in the day, like kids don't actually ever have short haircuts anymore. And I was like, yeah, I used to have the big cameo and all that good stuff. And
the cameo like that.
Yeah, you don't. Oh, yeah.
No, I know what you're talking about. For some reason, I was thinking about that website cameo where you can get people to wish you like someone a happy birthday. Someone wants to send me $10. I mean, I'll just say whatever.
Didn't we use
happy birthday, Ralph?
Didn't we do that as a gag for somebody? In our pool?
Oh, it wasn't. It wasn't.
No, it was in your other pool.
Well, it was the other guys.
It was Michael Rappaport.
Yeah, it was the other guys in the other pool that did it to somebody for fantasy football. Yeah, so it wasn't the pool that I was in. It was Cheese and those other guys. The other pool that battled.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the one you were. Yeah. No, anyways, it was a pool that one of our friends was in, where I guess they paid. Well, they got Michael Rappaport to talk trash. If you don't know who Michael Rappaport is, you can look him up. He's funny. Talk trash. I guess the guy who lost the pool, or something like that. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, is something.
It's not a bad idea.
It's something we should probably do in ours because.
Friends.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go to the desk. Let's talk about Nvidia. But I actually think we should be doing something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nvidia up next, guys. Essentially flat, down 0.05. A couple of headlines on this, both important over here. So Taiwan Semi, or excuse me, yes, Nvidia looking to partner with Taiwan Semi for their Arizona plant. It looks like a lot of the Blackwell chips will be built out of Arizona with production starting early next year. Nvidia joins Apple and I believe Apple and a different company that will get their chips from the Arizona plant separately. They did go, or Jensen was in Vietnam to strike a deal with the government there to open a research and development plant. As I just spoke, guys, it went flat on the day, up 0.00%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I didn't.
Three.
Go ahead. Yeah.
1 for 3 is good in baseball. Like if every Blue Jay went 1 for 3, we'd win the World Series every single year. In trading, what comes down to is if all things being equal, if I wasn't taking a breakout trade and it was like 3 like regular dip buy type trades or just regular entries, I'd be up on the stock. But the difference is this was a 146 breaker 19 through the high of the day kind of trade where I'm thinking Tesla vibes on it. So this one trade, it doesn't matter that I got 145 to 146. I did get a dollar move after, but it doesn't make a difference because you're on a breakout like this, I'm taking a bigger shot at it on that double top break. So I liked it. It gives it up. I'm disappointed in Nvidia, not just because it's red. I mean, yeah, a little bit, but you still have this top end of the zone here in Nvidia, 146 to 150. Where you're just getting all kinds of rejection up here. You're bouncing the 50 period, that's good. But the follow through just doesn't want to be there. We have no trouble getting up into the high 140s, but I think this 150, we're going to have to take some time to chew our way through it. Nvidia has turned into a little bit more of a steady climber than it was before. We get into these zones of resistance and we're not just punching through on our first shot. Like how many times have we seen this? A couple up days in Nvidia, little tight consolidation that sets up just how you want. That's usually a breakout that just gives you a $5 move. I'm thinking we're headed to 150 in about 15 minutes on that punch, but obviously it didn't happen, so I took the L on NVDA. That said, it's flat, and the market is flat. So it's not like it's doing anything, it's not worse than the market. It's not bleeding to the downside. Go pull up a chart of Intel and you'll feel a heck of a lot better, right? It's not the end of the world. Over here on Nvidia. I'm just saying the breakout wasn't as good as it could have been.
All right. We're still long. The only name we're long right now is Google. We were not able to get, we could talk about AMD. We'll do that as we go. I don't have any any Nvidia trades today. But again, it's funny because it was on the keynote yesterday. We're like, it's finally back. And then we did not put it back there today. So we did miss that opportunity to get Nvidia back on here. It looks like 144 there. Couple decent levels. I really like the stock. We liked it yesterday because it was sort of trying to, it was trying to break out from that level, and it did that. We got that big move yesterday. And then today it's kind of like, I don't know, Sharif was talking about that doji star maybe on Apple created to the downside. If we close here and maybe even close a little bit red, that's what this is going to look like. So potentially a turnaround day here for NVIDIA if we go red or stay red. So I know we just kind of turned there. Let's see what winds up happening now with NVIDIA. For me, I would rather play the short in this name, underneath the 200, underneath VWAP, and the market looking like it wants to give back a little bit. I don't know, we're underneath VWAP. So for me, NVIDIA remains a short. More interesting to talk, I think, about Uber as they're going to be SSR in a couple minutes.
There's something happening in some others. QBT, before we go up to the desk here.
Quantum.
QBTS, one of those quantum names, just got a monster volume spike here, almost to the $4 level, bouncing off of 340 here. I don't know if there's a new catalyst. They're saying... Yeah, they're just basically saying that they're up. Okay, great. So making a breakout on the daily chart, it looks like a 380. The 380 is just kind of a wick level. I don't know how much that's going to matter if you start pulling back in here. The way I would approach this is not to chase. Don't necessarily know the story yet. I'd like to see some kind of a dip, consolidate, take a rounded bottom, and then work back up. There's probably a few sympathy names going. Penguin Dynasty mentioning IonQ. Is making a power move.
That makes sense.
Yeah, okay, so it could just be, like, what are they all going? Oh, that's a New York one. Anyways, let's go back up to the desk. We can talk about some Uber, which is not going up like the quantum names are.
We were down to 9 2/3, almost 9 3/4 there, as Sean was saying, very close to short sale restricted. Back above 9% now, 8.92. This is the headline, guys. Uber really selling off after Waymo announced they will launch in Miami in 2026. Obviously, if you don't know, Waymo owned by Google, and they operate autonomous Jaguar I-Paces that can be hailed just like you hail an Uber from your app.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad news. I mean, I didn't think 10% this would happen when like a known thing was coming through. I guess maybe a little bit earlier than expected there for Waymo. You know, the thing that's going to make Google eventually be, Uber, when Google would be Waymo, come back to the upside here. There's going to be a cost situation. I mean, Uber already has everything built. They have the infrastructure built. They have the drivers built. As you just mentioned about the different cars that are being used, they're using their own cars with Uber. There's Uber delivery. There's Uber freight. There's a lot of opportunities to have different angles here rather than just simply put the ride-hailing service. But it is a competition. It is going to be a bad situation there. I don't know. I mean, Miami's great. It's obviously another market there. I feel like a lot of Uber's main, and I don't know this, and maybe I should, but like New York, a lot of the Northeast. I mean, there's big like Chicago, all over the place, and I'm not sure that Waymo has any intentions right now of moving into the Northeast or anything like that. So I feel like this is just a big move down, considering what's going on. I don't even know the amount of vehicles that Waymo has. Like, how pissed off are you going to be? You're waiting for one of these cars, and the next thing you know, it's a half hour, or you open up the Uber app and it's 3 minutes. So I wonder about all that stuff. I think it's a little bit of a panic. We recently bought down here at 68. We thought it was pretty good. It went back up to 72, 73. So we bought at 80. We bought at 72. We bought at 68. Now we're going to have to let this thing settle down and see if the next stop is indeed somewhere around $63 for Uber. So again, you know, it's a longer term play. This is not, we're not trying to swing in and out of these things or anything like that. But again, yeah, we said that. We just heard Sharif just mentioned tsunami warning, but yeah, we've been seeing that. There's 7.5 apparently was what we heard on the earthquake. So get ready for that, and hopefully all of you, maybe those of you that are in the chat in the West Coast there, can talk to us and hopefully let us know that everything is fine. But okay, so let's just go back. SoundHound up next.
Yeah, I was involved in this one. Most of the How to Trade show during the midday. Big move up today for Sound, 32.5% off this headline here. Trading high after the company announced it's launched its voice AI wondering system at 130 Torchy's taco locations. Guys, I go to the States a lot. I've never seen one of these. Have you?
No, where do you find them? Torchy's?
Torchy's.
To say it's
in the Sun Belt.
Is it everywhere in the States? In Sun Belt makes sense.
No, I just said because torch, like the sun torch. Yeah.
I don't know. The chat's going to let us know.
From Oregon to Santa Cruz. What is that?
Steven, now the question is, yeah, but that was probably in reference to, in the chat, people are probably talking about the tsunami warning as opposed to where Torchy's is. But SOUN, absolute rocket ship. Oh, I'm not on the right page.
Texas, they're saying. Texas.
I've been to Texas okay, that's not
once.
No, I've literally only been to Dallas a few times. That's it. So like Fort Worth, Dallas, Fort Worth, that's it. But then if Torchy's is there, then I missed my opportunity to go. SOUN, rocket ship.
You have to know.
That's simple. This thing is absolutely flying to the upside. Okay, the daily chart. Like, what am I gonna tell you? Remember that double top at 1025 that we were discussing the other day? Well, obviously that's gone. You know, and it didn't just go like yesterday, it couldn't break. And so there isn't anybody that was trading Tesla today that is going to complain if you took a Tesla long. However, if you're looking at these small cap gappers, remember all afternoon, it's like, this needs to break $10.25. I was sitting in a trade at 10 and it couldn't break. We ended up getting out at like 9.90. It just wouldn't go. But look where it dips into at the open. It dips right out in front of that prior high at 10.25. It's the dip into prior resistance on the daily, and then it's a clean breakout. So I feel like if Tesla, like there's two opportunities that set up really, really well for a day trader. Obviously Tesla was one of them, but SOUN was absolutely another if you're looking at a small cap. small cap gapper. So good one there. And then I'm seeing a few things in the chat that I got to call out. Foul territory. Torchy's is 1,000 times better than Taco Bell. I mean, aren't all tacos 1,000 times better than Taco Bell? I mean, everything is better than Taco Bell. Like if we make tacos at home in my house, which we do at least once a month, if not twice, then when I reheat the leftovers 4 or 5 days later, that's better than Taco Bell. And even if I put no salsa on it and no garnish, that's better than Taco Bell. And if you can't tell, the only thing I like about Taco Bell is their inclusion in Demolition Man, which I thought was an underrated movie. So that's about the best thing I'm going to say about Taco Bell. So Torchy's for life, even though I've never been there.
Yeah, nobody, I mean, when you're paying $1 for a taco, you're not expecting.
Can I ask you one question before? Remember when they had 69-cent soft tacos?
Yeah, I mean.
Did you ever crush those in university?
Oh, probably. I mean, the thing is like, remember when we were going to university, they used to have like, I don't know, it was $1 or $2 Big Mac Wednesdays or something like that. Like there was just stupid belligerencies that were always continuously happening back in that space.
What I think?
What is it about? That OSI, ORIS? Yeah. No, we've already talked about it. Yeah. You were, I think. Yeah, I know, but it's been halted for an hour. Yeah. It's not opening up, so the tap doesn't matter.
Still not on my location.
Yeah, so we're talking about, we talked about that ORIS. We already talked about it. Sharif just seeing it now on the chat. Thanks for bringing it up. It might not open. It's a Chinese name. I have no idea. It's 5 million shares afloat there. All right, so let's move on here. All right, so. What am I looking at? All right, I just want to say Google's the name that I'm looking at right now. It's the only position I have, which is why we're there. Again, dip bought that, still like the stock, back up to the upside. But we got to find some more plays right now for everybody. The Nasdaq, relatively flat. I did want to have a look at the TQs. I think that we had done well over the last little while with TQQs, trading, especially in the afternoon. So we can have a definite look here. Not really near anything right now. I'm going to give it a second. Let's go back to GameStop. I mean, all right, yeah, so shares of GameStop off the highs, and it was really exciting during the midday, obviously, with Joe and Sharif there, but at the end of the day, it was really great there. It halted, it reopened back up. GameStop right there, nice little gap play to the high side. Now kind of wants to do this little dance, but you know what? Maybe, I mean, we didn't break through 32. We did talk about 32, that we like that level, but maybe we just like this $30.25 area. You know, like that was fine. A lot of exuberance. It just opened up. I mean, first 5 minutes of a reopen. I'm not going to be like, you know, that price is truth or anything like that. You know, that's what you need to see. Right now, it's back and forth. We just heard that like AMC maybe is the one that's now starting to go. You know, like we can always talk about like what that 0109 meant and what 420 meant and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I mean, here's AMC to the upside. Like, is there a movie release happening on January 9th? Like, you know, we're basically going to be playing this game if you're looking at that. So I think the best thing to do is just continuously look at price and just pretend that it's not going to lie. And it's not. So as you're seeing AMC, it's coming right into this area again as well. Sometimes I wonder, like, maybe this is the cynical part of me, like, people just need to get out of shares. So they create things to happen. And then, you know, all of a sudden there's a put wall or something like that right up here at $5.56. And there's no way it's going to break it because there's not enough interest in it. So you get up there and then you fade right back in. So I would say watch out for that. We've already seen this. This goes back to June, like middle of the month, middle of the summer. This 570 area, let alone where we are almost right now, tops out where we've been that last top. Like the last high of AMC is August 1st. Pretty much the exact price of 550 of where we are right now. So I just feel like just be careful. These are probably shorts. You probably have to go ahead and pay for shorts on some of these, maybe. I don't know if we have to or not. I can throw out
both of
100 shares. You tried?
AMC?
We have to?
Yeah, you have to pay for it.
Okay, so
I just got it's really cheap.
I think it might be worth it in this area to look for.
It is, okay, so 0.00, whatever. It's
not expensive.
No, it's going to cost you 30 cents for 1,000 shares. It's very, very cheap. 30 cents 1,000 shares. I think GameStop was maybe like fractionally more than that, but almost nothing. This QBTS, though, it's not really holding $4 like you'd like to see. So, you know, it broke out. Clearly, we didn't want to chase it. Want to see it put in like some kind of a consolidation or bull flag. You know, that would look good, but it's having trouble holding on to the bottom end of it. So I'm not sure it's time to jump in. My first thought, and as you were saying that about AMC, was to look for a fade in all of this. I mean, the GameStop's not even breaking out above 30, and this is going to go 10% up. And you look over, like, look at all this chop at 550 to 575. And that's exactly where this seems to be headed. So in lieu of anything else, like, if that QBTS doesn't start showing a bid, I'm not sure that's going to be a great long. There's still time for it to happen. But I might look for a little mean reversion play on AMC just to try and see if we can't get a little bit of a pullback. I mean, 575 is really that top, but I just look for a bit of a trend break here because it's put in a pretty steep trend since the news, pull back into VWAP. There's your trend. If it loses it, maybe look for a short. It's that or QBTS, I think, and they did a really good job. When I say they, I don't mean anybody in particular. It's just the market did a very good job of rinsing Tesla longs. I'll tell you right now, like, pretty much everyone around here has been long Tesla all day. That's the kind of candle that gets a lot of day traders out and then didn't really jump back in when it came back through 368. And now Tesla's doing exactly what it did before, holding above 370. I'd love it to pull back into VWAP and give us an entry, but I feel like it's going to be QBTS or that mean revert on AMC. Let's go to Adara. Short.
We do have here Unity Software. This is another, from what I'm seeing, this rally could also be inspired by that Roaring Kitty tweet, and I'm going to explain why I've seen some of that speculation. So if you can see here, we did get that volume pop on Unity around when this tweet was released at 1:45 p.m. by Roaring Kitty. So, and no, there's no other catalyst in this name either. So what is the reason for this pop to the upside, sending Unity up about 6% here? Well, this is the original cover upon which the Roaring Kitty tweet was based. This is for the Time Person of the Year in 2006, and they named you the Time Person of the Year. So by you, they meant viewers, people watching. Some people are expecting that you could be actually supposed to be interpreted as in you, the stock ticker, which is Unity's ticker, which is why some people are suspecting that Unity here actually did get that pop-up, as well as another Roaring Kitty sympathy play. So some food for thought because of the volume spike and the fact we're near day's highs. I wanted to bring up this one as another potential Roaring Kitty sympathy play here, guys.
So, I mean, it's choking up Neil here with these things.
Everything's choking me up lately.
I'm playing around, of course.
That's a bit much.
I mean, thing is, I think it's all a bit much. I think it's just it's food for thought. It's fodder. It's whatever we're doing here. And I think you want to just keep on looking at those levels. We talked about it. I actually like the quantum stuff better. I mean, I can get behind quantum. I just don't know if GameStop is like an actual viable business other than some of these tweets. And I think you're just playing for that. This market does have some of those 2020 feels. I mean, the way this market is acting over the last little while. So it does make sense to try to bring back those kind of like let the good times roll, you know? And I just think that's probably part of what's happening right now is just sort of trying to see if they can get some excitement back. I mean, even a name like, we've seen this before, a name like Chewy, that's been talked about there. Again, putting some more money into this one. We've gone back and forth with a name like Chewy. That doesn't seem to be doing anything on this news. Actually down 6% today. There was news, wasn't there, a report, earnings with Chewy? I mean, I want him to put something about Roblox. We're still long some Roblox shares here. $58. I mean, this is up again here today, Roblox. Up, I mean, we just go from a stock that's down 6% to one that's up 7% today. Roblox just boom shakalaka. I mean, this is like a major keys move right here. 55 and still going here for Roblox. You got that break and it's just like peace. Nice upside move there for Roblox. Fabian, where's the oomph thing right there? Because that's to the shorts. Yeah, those are the shorts falling off that cliff right now because there's a nice move up. Boom. CEO tweeting out SMCI. Okay, I'm just listening. Okay, he's just saying that SMCI is here to support Tesla and their operations and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, just I guess telling Elon that if you need any equipment, we're here for you. So that's SMCI. So he's just tweeting it out. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. It's in our ear right now. I think SMCI again, like this is not a gap fill. That was the split that our charts are not appropriately showing. But there is the drip down, and I cannot believe we're almost all the way back. I mean, or basically we made it all. Apologize for the daily chart there. Hold on, it's going to do this again. That looks really stupid now, doesn't it? But we almost made it all the way back to that level again. So that was like, you know, regardless of this happening, obviously the way the market's been doing, we talked about the SMH hasn't really been moving around that much. Semis have been pretty flat for the last 4 months, 6 months, actually. So right here, we're going to have to watch out for SMCI.
GameStop again.
I still like it. Right there, what did GameStop go through that 20, 30, 50 area?
So obviously,
okay, so it's right here, right now.
Yeah, I mean, I like QBTS, and it just held 380, so I got in. But clearly, if you just bought GameStop, whatever, whether there's a there or not, they're both just runners. It did the bull flag. I saw a couple of times underneath 390 here that it held 380, and then size kind of jumped up this last time. But we got in. If we lose this consolidation, I think it's an easy out and wait for VWAP kind of deal. But it's not going to be, it's unavoidable, everybody, and don't at me. But you're breaking out on GameStop. I still think 32 on the daily is the big one. Obviously, you're not going to get VWAP at this point. I still have AMC up for any kind of a mean revert if it gets to $5.75, $6. That's what I'll look for. So it looks like GameStop does seem to want to get at least to the highs here, and then maybe we can get a test of that 32 level. As I said, we didn't pay much of anything, but we got some locates on AMC. It's getting real close to its resistance on the daily. Got a steep upward trend. Now that it's broken 550, it's probably going to put in another big trend line for sure. But the market is trying to catch a bid. Clearly, you've got the runners going, and they are not stopping anytime soon. GameStop, I hate to say to the moon. GameStop through the highs, or to the highs. At least. Well, the other thing, Bitcoin is still on the precipice of 100,000. So like I have it up. Like we're not bouncing very far away from 100,000 on Bitcoin. So at any moment you could really get a test of 100K back through. So I am keeping that on the side chart up. But I'm watching QBTS, GameStop, AMC.
I just took GameStop
and Bitcoin.
We are now in the building here with GameStop. So we take GameStop on that break of the high. Let's just wait to see what it does. I mean, I was talking about taking that. We'll play it here. So that was that wick high. And I said, like, I'm not going to take this as gospel or anything like that. It looks like it just went right to that exact same level again. So what we're doing here is very, very light amount of shares because we want to be able to hold this. We've just seen it sort of hold the 50-period moving average. So we're going to have to watch out now for 29.50 if it pulls back in. We're not anywhere near panicking about any of this. So let's just hold on and see what winds up happening. What's up, UNH, says Russell McQueen. We'll talk about that in a minute. Thank you for the super chat here. There it is right here. I'll bring it on the screen to show you guys. We can put the chat in the top as well there at some point if you guys want to. There it is right there. Thank you, Russell, for that. We will look at UNH, of course, off that canceled. I guess it's is it back on now, that conference?
I don't know if they rescheduled it.
But okay, so yeah, we'll talk about it. It was delayed yesterday, so I don't want to short it because of anything that happened yesterday. I would rather look at sort of the fundamentals there and what comes out of that investor day or that conference. But here goes GameStop. So just a quick talk about it. Yeah, 29.50. We'll look to see if it holds that. I feel like that bottom break of 29 is where we'll get out. So that's the kind of risk that I'm trying to put in this. So breaking 29, so we'll be looking at about $1.50 or so worth of risk. And for me, when we zoom back out of this, let me go. Actually, I'll just go like this and see if we get a better look. So that's still 32, that top. I mean, we were debating taking that if that happens. So now let's just settle down a little bit, hold this maybe into the close, maybe not. We'll figure out what happens with GameStop. If we get shut down, we get shut out of this trade. That will be breaking through that 29 marker or so around here. But we're in it right now. It's GameStop. I mean, we're here to play. So we'll play a little lightly on this, not sort of, like I said, go too hard. But right now, GameStop, we'll take it with about like 25 or 30% of the shares that we normally would if we had caught this a little bit earlier. All right, so here we go, GameStop. First area out, probably like 31.50 or so. Let's see a break of 31. Here we go, GameStop.
Yeah, it's trying to get through that 31. I do still have eyeballs on AMC, but QBTS, the moment GameStop took the high, the volume really died on this thing. It's like they go from one to the other. We had a tight stop on it. We were in at 90. We're out when it broke 80. So I never really wanted to risk big, given that it has a monster gap fill down to about it's a 10% gap fill to VWAP and the 350 level. So I am still going to hunt over on AMC. I'm playing for a reversion on AMC, but I thought we'd go over UNH here because, and ultimately, anyone do you. Technically, I wouldn't.
Oh, I forgot to trade.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to short this, but personally, it is what it is. It's not a great story, but it is under a tremendous amount of pressure here. When they cancel the investor day, and it looks like it is headed to some support there on the daily. The bigger level, 550 has been a brick wall here on UNH, no questions asked. But today, it has just been a trend down. I don't have any strategies that involve punching shorts at low of day on a stock that looks like this, and it's not much of a day trading stock, but you do have some support coming in at 575, and then the big one at the 550 level. Did I hear that we need to go to the desk with Adara?
Thank you very much to Firefly Neuroscience for sponsoring this portion of the show. Firefly Neuroscience is revolutionizing brain health with cutting-edge brain network analytics powered by the world's most comprehensive EEG database. This technology provides precise insights for treating cognitive disorders like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, as well as traumatic brain injuries like concussions. With FDA 510K clearance and CE mark approval, Firefly is paving the way for a future where brain health is clear, accessible, and personalized. Back to you.
Bitcoin is tanking, breaking through that $100,000 mark. I mean, we use the word tank. It's probably not a tank. It is just a move down right now. We can watch 99.7, coming into play right now for BTC. So it's a level, and it's moving, and it's Bitcoin. So there it goes right now. We basically nailed that. 56.80, I think, was about right. So now we'll be able to watch that with, with some concern, I guess, if you guys are trading Bitcoin right now, that it is making that move lower through that level. All right, so GME, I mean, we're ready for this. We're not really panicking too much. I do want to go over it. We are going to try to buy some. We talked about where in and around this 29.50. Hopefully that can come through. One stock that, although what we'll lose on GameStop, we're making on Shopify, so it's going to be net here, which kind of sucks. But at the end of the day, here's Shopify. And again, a stock that actually fits what I'm trying to do, and that is make money based on things that make sense. And that was into there to the 200 period. We said that we missed it at 35, but just because we miss it doesn't mean we get right back there, and that's exactly what we did. So we put that bid there, we stuck there, it came back in, it just fell. I missed it the first time when it went up here. Then it just fell back in and filled me again at that same level. So there it goes. Now let's see if it comes back in. We're just taking it out now in the 70s. We do have a higher target. So let's fingers crossed. Maybe we get that. Maybe we do not. Okay, there it is. All right. Sirens up, man. That's 50 cents there on Shopify. All right. We did not get more shares down there on on GameStop because it's just bouncing around $30 now. I do not want to get very specific with this. I already have the plan of action. We've talked about what it is. If and when it hits, great. We're going to average in at this 50-period moving average, and we're going to watch out for this low take on that downside as well. So that's what we're doing right now. I mean, it's not a whole heck of a lot, but that's what I'm into right now with GameStop. And it's a new position. Look, man, I have 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, only 3 positions, but they're all long. So hold out hope that GameStop can actually do something. Moderna buyout offer coming. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what. No.
That's not true, is it?
No. I think he wants it to come true. Moderna's been getting absolutely crushed. This was a name that I was thinking about getting into because I do like the technology. But unless there's something else happening with Moderna here, wow, this chart is bad. And again, you have HHS. We talked about that with RFK coming through. I mean, it's been bad. And also today you see Pfizer. You want to talk about a bad stock to be invested in. I'm in this name as well a little bit. Pfizer down there, 25. I thought this was getting hit today, is it not? Or was it yesterday? It must have been.
Yesterday.
It was yesterday. Okay, yeah. So falling off of that 26 level there. 26 and change coming for Pfizer. So actually a little bit better today. So that's nice. Hopefully these are some levels that we can respect in and around 25 right now for Pfizer. All right. I'm not doing a whole heck of a lot. Yeah, go ahead.
Toby, I saw Toby in the chat there. Where are you, Toby? Let me see if I can find you in here. Oh, no, it's Tobes. Nice. I used to have a nickname on the floor that literally one person said, and they called me Robes, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but whatever. Why would anyone short AMC now? You have to have a trading plan, and this is just a simple mean reversion play, and then my confluence for the trade, I don't want to draw a line there. So there's your trend up from the bounce on AMC, right? So it makes a high, goes into a resistance zone on the daily chart, and then closes candle underneath the trend line, short in a prior high, and then into VWAP. At the same time, GameStop, which is the reason why it's up, was, I mean, I guess the group is going higher on that tweet. That made it pull back off of its high as well. So it's just a simple setup there for me on AMC. Like, I like to take those shots, and it's a kind of a structured trade. If we get back above the 550 or GameStop makes a fresh high, it can jump out. The other thing I'm keeping an eye on is Tesla's getting close to VWAP. It's not there yet. And Amazon. Look, Amazon probably hasn't gotten enough press today. I'm the midday guys, which I'm just going to get rid of this dark pool wick here so we can see the chart better. Like, oh no, don't do it. Let's just go to the 15 minute. It's going to be better. Amazon is breaking out in a big way. It already dipped well above the prior high and is making a higher low and a bit of a round off here on Amazon. So if we can hold this higher low, remember the market's at the low of the day. If we can get any kind of a bounce here, I like the look of Amazon. I don't know if you can get VWAP. I'll only be able to show you with this black chart here. I don't know if you're talking about VWAP, but maybe something along the lines of this 220.5 where you put that wick bottom. But that's a strong stock as the market's trying to bounce off lows, something I'd like for the long trade here in AMZN. Bit of a stronger one out there that I don't think we've talked enough about. I was surprised that Amazon wasn't in our rundown. I thought the viewers might have liked that one.
I'm gonna have to get out of some Amazon. Okay, let's have a quick look at other crypto because 99.5 right now, Bitcoin is falling down. So let's have a quick look at some other names here. As we look at the Dow and the Nasdaq, everything's about flat-ish. I mean, there's always going to be names that are rolling around. We did just buy a little bit more Google, so if you see my price changing a little bit there, we did add a little bit to it. Okay, so here's just a sort of a scan of what's been happening. So there's crypto there, 99. I mean, it's still up in the last 24 hours, up 3%. But as you can see, crypto is making that fall down. Right now, Ethereum 38.39. That's pretty much holding well out as well. XRP 235. I think the high was like 270 or so for XRP. Again, we have the new SEC commissioner being appointed that is apparently go Shopify right now. Shopify 50 cents in the money on that one. Dogecoin, thanks for that. I'm in at about 38 and change. We bought it that day with OB, so that's about 15%, 20% in the money. Thanks for that one. OB, 120 there for Cardano. Tron was going good yesterday, up 60% on the week. 32 cents down 5 right now. Shiba Inu 2.6. So I'm not going to go over all of these, just some names that I know some of you are into there, including Doge, Shiba, Solana, so on and so forth. There. So yeah, just a couple little looks there on what's been happening. All right, just to check back in on everybody's friend, or maybe not. And what we're looking at here is GameStop. So it's bouncing off that 30. It's basically looks like it's going to be in and around a flat trade for me. So we'll just, I mean, it's not flat right now. We're waiting for it, but we'll have to hold out hope. Maybe we change this 50 period right now. You see how it just keeps on riding it up? We can now change our bids to 29.70. Also sit around this 29.50 area. Hopefully it comes in and we'll be able to take a play off of that. But that's something I'm looking at to average back into that trade. And then we just talked about Google falling back here. So Google's been a good stock. We're up on Google today. It's actually going to be next to Tesla, the next best stock today for us. But right there, Google 173. It's been holding. We've done it a couple times now, so we're going to try it again. But we already started the show kind of by saying like this market seemed like it wanted to go down. It's really been holding this VWAP. Like there again, it didn't even get there. I like shallow retraces to VWAP that don't work. That's like a good sign for a downside move. We really got sort of upside down, tipsy-turvy there on Tesla because we should still be. It's too bad. Like we just got stopped out there, else that would have been a good one just to add on to sort of what we've been doing today so far.
Tesla was, yeah.
What's Robinhood at 39?
There's a couple of people in the chat, and I want to know Jameson here. What up, Jameson? BA cracking down, and then I wanted to talk about SMCI in a quick little second too. But look, Boeing just broke low of the day, and it's. Here's Boeing's actually looking pretty solid. So I want to preface that. I understand it's at the low of the day and it doesn't look very good, but this is actually regained the 50-period moving average and is kind of consolidating off of that high. Let me just get rid of that. Consolidating off of this high at 160. So what was prior support has now turned into a little bit of resistance, but I'm starting to like Boeing closing here, breaking out above the 160 at least looks interesting to me. So I get it that it's having a bad day, but in the context of the daily chart, in the context of a 15-minute, you essentially just have a consolidation between 155 and 160, and it got to 160 and is now pulling back. So as long as 155 holds, it still looks solid to me on that daily chart. It just, whenever I see something making a bottom like this, the next step I want is for it to A, hold a 50 period, but then make the next level breakout. So there's your consolidation. Once you break out and close above, then you can have a long trade with a stop out under support under the 50 period, which would be like 150 bucks. Very similar to, and the reason I was saying I want to talk about Snow is Enchanted. I won't say the rest of your name there. Snow, which is loading. That's a similar move to what Snowflake did on the daily chart, which is hold on, make a low, make a consolidation off the 50 period moving average, and then break said consolidation. So there's your hold of the 50 period. There's your top after holding the 50 period. There's your break of the top. It does a nice move off there. Now, you had multiple opportunities to get it. You could have taken this breakout, which is the one that I preferred, the early break, because I really liked Snow. But yeah, Boeing doing something very similar. I don't think necessarily Boeing is going to do what Snowflake did because, well, heck, it's Boeing, but it doesn't mean it doesn't have a chance. So anyways, just wanted to answer that question. And when I saw the two together, that's the first thing that popped in my mind.
All right, off the, yeah, great question there. We love Snowflake. All right, chicken dinner winner. Off the 200 period moving average there for Shopify. You're going to be basically your banger here, honestly, in the afternoon. I mean, we take this trade. We talked about it. We liked it. That's it right there, man. It is Shopify. Nice trade there. All right, so the only other name there, Google, iBit, we can have a quick look at as, 98 now. So we are really coming in.
There's no
I mean, it's not going to look like, and this is what I mean by, like, it's not worth panicking right here. And my ears are all of a sudden buzzing for some reason. I had
it's a swimming.
Yeah, I know. For some reason I had some water in there today. I have the earplugs, but okay. So just a quick little look there. iBit, where could we find some support? I mean, at this point, I think you're here right now if you want to take a shot at it. But I mean, it's only moving with with BTC itself. I think that's what it's supposed to do. So the best thing to do would to be look at something that's been here and done that before, and that would be crypto. So right into there, 200 period moving average is all the way up here. Again, this is a 5-minute chart, so we're well underneath everything. What is this green? I don't know what this, I have to ask Obi or something what all this is
Anchored?
all about.
Probably an anchor.
Probably a past anchor. Yeah, that would kind of make sense if there was a past anchor up there somewhere. But anyways, okay, so it's coming in right into some levels where we could find some support. Forget about all these lines. Right there, 98.250 was the most recent bottom. At the end of the day, what about just 98 kind of flat, right? So we'll see if that holds. Looks like it might want to into some past sort of choppy areas before we took off. So get ready for this trade. I think it's going to be here for us. Again, it's going to be BTC 5-minute chart, not looking too bad right there, as well as iBit, right? I mean, again, so if you're going to look at that, iBit back into the close, can you take a look at that? Right there, we'll see what it wants to do. But so far, not the greatest here, trading for Bitcoin today, downside move. And again, we talked about being a risk manager. Join me and Adara tonight. Thursday. I don't know if anybody's in the calendar for a guest. Hopefully not, because we have a big time announcement to make. Earnings, a lot of earnings, and that's the announcement. That's all. We don't have an official announcement. We have Rubrik. We also have Lululemon today reporting after hours. Wow. What am I? Oh, Aloe. This is Aloe. But I was like, am I wearing Lulu? That would have been fluky. I should have wore that. But Lululemon tonight. Alta. So Lulu again. Look at this recovery for LULU. Wow. Again, like the stock, beautiful recovery from some of those dips. Now above the 200, above the 50-period moving average, and looking to go. Watch out for 360 coming into play there for Lululemon. Implied move on this, 8.7%. Join me and Adara as we'll be talking about all these names live there tonight for you. That, of course, is Lululemon. Looking for, and Lululemon, by the way, the 51st state is in the building right now with Lululemon. So we'll say a big shout out to you guys, and we'll be joining you guys soon. Right now, get ready to fix that flag, put a couple more stars on there. All right, so that's Lululemon coming in. Implied move on that, as I just mentioned, 8.7%. Last earnings, it moved less than 1%. We'll see what's going on. Oh, and a store that if this stock has like ripped up since like maybe beginning of November, or when was I in Buffalo? I can't remember. We spent some coin here at Ulta Beauty. I was really impressed with the store itself. I was really impressed with the pricing because they made us pay too much for the stuff. Nice move up there for Ulta Beauty, right off the last couple weeks. But at the same time, it's not like it's breaking out. But oh my, looky what we see right here. This 410, I like it, man. I like this break higher. We know Warren was in this. Hey, Warren, what did you see in the company, man? Like, I know he sold out of some of his Ulta Beauty, but what did you see in it? Do we still see it there? Let's see if Ulta Beauty can take that out again. Ulta Beauty expected EPS of 447 with an implied move of over 7% on that one. We also have another juicy name, man, and this one is really a shame because I was long in the 50s. We got out in the 60s, I think about the high 60s for DocuSign. I think this was one of the trades. I know when Brendan and I were doing that first podcast that we had, DocuSign, and this is why I'm talking about it. We were talking about that, and it was down into here. It was just before we turned over on the year. So it was down into here, $56, $57, something like that. Anyway, there it is. Right back in here. Yeah, here we go. So there's the moves back up that we started talking about on some of those buyout rumors or whatever it was at that time. And then we came back in, and then once we got up into these areas here is where I eventually wound up selling because it was like nothing. And now upside here for DocuSign continuing to work. That one, expected move, wow, 10%. Wow, these names are getting pretty spicy right now. We'll talk about it a little bit more. There's GitLab, there's HPE, there's Woof, and the rest of them. But look at GameStop right now, coming right back into sort of where we were. I see you're out of AMC. Any updates on that one?
Yeah, just sitting back down. Got myself a hot water. I can only drink so much lemon and ginger tea. It's like I've had like 2 of them. So I'm literally just drinking hot water. But GameStop made another test higher, but really it's more about the structure of the trade. If it held above 550, get out. We shorted went for the 545 level. And again, every trade, you've got to have your own sort of set of rules. We've been pretty fortunate this week, right? So, like to start the month, we've essentially gone 4 for 4, but most of that has come down to one simple thing. If you have an execution strategy, sort of follow it. And I think a lot of times it's like, oh, you could just hold on to it. And you saw this with, what was it? I'm trying to remember what the small capper was. There was a small capper like 2 days ago, and you guys will probably, anyone watching a couple of days ago will remember. It's like, we had like a 30-cent win on it or something like that. And I just basically banked the profit to watch it go like $1, maybe like a half an hour later. But I was following my plan. And I think when you do that, like I'm looking at QBTS here. Like I could hold on to that and give it a wider stop, but no, I have a rule that I want to put in there for the trade on that little flag that it had, and I'm not going to hold it all the way to the bottom. Now, maybe it bounces off 365 or something like that, and then makes a fresh high. And if I'm holding at 390, it ends up a winning trade. But if that's not your style of trade, then that's not what you should do, because ultimately you just want to build your own level of consistency and not just like throw around and gamble. And it's the same thing with AMC. Like you could say, well, you got stopped out. It's right back to where you sold it. It could still get to 525. Fair, but look what's happening. If my reason for getting into the trade was mean reversion plus GameStop failing the high, well, since that, GameStop has stayed on trend and it ran my stop. So what would I be doing by sticking into this trade? I would be breaking the rule. You have a reason to get in, and those reasons end up gone, then you should exit the trade. So that's what you should do. I mean, it is what it is. To each their own. I just wanted to get over to Nvidia. I just saw something in the chat. It's funny, Tony. I gotta say something about that. That's a really good one. Nvidia trying to claw its way back into VWAP. The last time it did this was my one of the 1 for 3 on Nvidia. Right? We took the breakout that didn't work. I had a dip buy that didn't work. But we were able to grab it off the 145 level. So there's your higher lows coming in off 145, and here's your chance to break away from VWAP. Now the last time it sets you a high above VWAP, like it failed it a couple times, wicked it a couple times, and then eventually broke it out. If it does the same thing, I would certainly look for a long there as well. Tony in the chat just basically said micro dump strategy. I don't think you can pin it all on MicroStrategy right now. That's not fair because at least this time Bitcoin is falling, right? So Bitcoin is down to like 98 change, And that's going to weigh on MicroStrategy. They were a buyer. I think the last buy was at 94,000. You got to start asking yourself a question. If you choose this as a vehicle, which I know some people that do, where would it have to go for you to exit? Because if let's say we pull back to like 75 or 80,000 or a large 10, 15, 20% pullback on BTC, you got to ask yourself, where is MicroStrategy going to be in that particular case? With Bitcoin, you can work off their levels. When you're highly leveraged like this, it's just going to be a different story. So it's not a very good move here for MSTR. There may be support down at the 360 level, but yeah, like it's dumping because Bitcoin's failing, or at least that's a part of the story. And I just heard something on Xpeng, but I'm not sure if it's actually.
I heard it too. I don't know what it was, but it was something.
Xpeng getting news. Yeah, you don't usually get news on Chinese ADRs at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It looks like they caught a downgrade. You don't usually see that in the middle of the day. Now, that's not a lot of movement, but it's a Chinese ADR, and it's, like I said, 3 o'clock. So, maybe not a lot of volume on this. I'll keep an eye on it because it's got a flat bottom break, but it would have to drop a lot further if it were going to give you some kind of entry point there. Yeah, so it might be a nothing burger on that Xpeng.
Yeah, it probably is. We'll wait to see what's going on with it. Okay, here we go, man.
I never got Amazon.
GameStop. Let's go, man. Let's see if we can get something to happen here with GME. So we'll figure it out, but right now it looks like it wants to go one way and hopefully back to the upside. We talked about where we'd like to average in. We did not get that opportunity to do that, although we were pretty close. Now the 50-period moving average is at $30. So now I'm sort of thinking as we get closer and closer to the close here, if we do not take out the high again right now, which we're at, that this could be a complete sort of 360 here. We may have to flip this on its head and get back out of this one on the other side of this trade. So we'll have to wait to see. I don't even really have any offers out there right now. I'm at 31.25 right now, 99,000 for Bitcoin. So I'm still waiting for a 31 break. I think if we can get that, then we'll get some excitement. We're waiting in the 20s to get a piece out on that one. But right now, I feel pretty comfortable if we maybe shut this thing down at 29.75. So let me change up our stop orders right now on GameStop and get some out, or get it all out for that dollar hit if we do break that 29. Let's go 69. All right, we'll play that game. Cat 29.69 down into there, and we'll try to average 42. A little bit at the 50 period because now that's the new 50 period. So that's what we'll do there. We'll put a bid like around $30.10, and we'll see if we can get a little bit more shares. We'll add about 25% back onto this trade. So we'll put another 25% on and see if we can't make something of that right now with GME. So that's that trade.
Let me respond to Fiddleback here in the chat.
We have $1 in the money on Shopify.
Uber is not SSR yet. Uber got very close to 10% down by my math, but it didn't quite get there. It needs to break 65 by a few pennies. I think 64, 94, 95. And then it'll actually be short sell restricted. Remember, basically the rule is it's not adjacent to 10%. It has to tick mathematically and print the NBBO, the best bid, has to be at that 10% mark, which is just underneath the 65, and it's from previous close, which is at 72.16. I'm looking for, I love SSR bounces, so if it were to go 10% down and revert trend, yeah, I'd be for it. But clearly on Uber, it's just not there yet. We tried an earlier bounce that had nothing to do with SSR, but it was a trend break. So that's what I'd look for on Uber. Yeah, of course, now AMC wants to go. Sometimes it'd be like that. Follow rule, market says, it would have worked. But if you break a rule and get profited, you're just more likely to do it the next time. And you don't want to play that way. I'll stop to fail on myself for that. Got to move on to the next. If Uber ticks SSR, then I'm going to look for the reversion on that. Just trying to look for those specific setups. Probably had it there, but as I said, GameStop stayed on trend. It ran my stop. Those are two reasons to get out, so I'm going to adhere to it. Maybe 20, 30 cents from now, we'll see Uber go into SSR territory. And by the way, that applies for tomorrow as well. If Uber, I selfishly getting down 10%, sometimes you get a better bounce the second day when people can digest the news a little bit better. So I'd like to see it almost tick that 10% at this point, but it is making a little bit of a bid here on Uber.
All right. There you go. We'll take a GameStop long down into this area. And by the way, guys, let's go. Money. Look, man, the only way, I see some of you guys in the chat, it's like, I talked about this earlier, how sometimes it's a hard day. It's like, all you can really judge is like, are your strategies working for you? I mean, there's nothing else to do. Like this 200 period right there, like I like that. We've seen it holding. So we're gonna take the shot on it. You know, if you're taking shots but always getting shot, then that's not going to be good. You know, you're going to have to look down and figure out like, all right, like where exactly am I making money? What stocks am I making money on? So on and so forth. And then try to trade appropriately on that. Like if there's a symbol that I'm all of a sudden not doing that well on, I try to go puff, puff, pass on that, right? We'll look at something else. But right there, Shopify, it's a nice move. It's a nice move to the upside. And it's following, like Neil said, the pattern. So if you look down and, you know, at the end of the day, all you want to do is look at your net. It's ultimately all that's going to matter. But you want to make sure, as we keep saying, the strategies that you're doing are actually profitable. So you got to look down and say, how many shots have I taken? How many winning trades? And what exactly is going on? And I told you, there's not too many winning trades, at least from my side of things here today. I mean, we don't have, right now, GameStop's trying to fall back down. We're about to get stopped out right here on GameStop, right? But again, we've sort of based this out. We kind of thought that this would be a fun kind of trade. Looks like it's going to be a little more than fun. It might be a big L right here. Taking down 30. We just tried to see if it can hold this 50-period moving average. So we'll see what winds up happening right now with GameStop. It looks like it's going to break lower. We're getting out on a break of 70 or 69. So basically a break of 75, and we'll be out of this one. And again, without some motivation here in the stock, I don't... There it goes. I don't necessarily think that you'd really want to be in this. I mean, we could get a retracement all the way back into VWAP right now. I'm just going to get this out, take $1, not even $1 hit, well, almost $1 hit right there on GameStop. So a reverse dollar club right there. Dollar club, though, in Shopify, and that's sort of what I was taking, you got to put different trades in different baskets, right? And I mean, we knew that what we were doing on Shopify at least had some past experiences. And on GameStop, it's kind of the same thing. We've traded this really well before and really bad. It's going to be a catalyst-based business. And for GameStop right now, it's... you know, it is what it is. It's trying to fail off this level. I have my offer there. If we get filled, we get filled on the punch through, and we will be stopped out of GME. But so that would leave me with only GameStop and Google heading into the last little bit. The Palantir short was so wrong. Who said Palantir let me see. Short? No, I don't know. I'm just trying to say what's going on with Palantir right now. I haven't even looked at it.
Oh no, what's
on charts?
Oh no.
There it is. Okay, so yeah, I mean, up 3.5%. Wow. Palantir, just like, I don't look at it. I mean, I look at it a lot because it's my stock, but at the end of the day, like, I didn't look at it for trading today. I don't know why. Look, see? There we go again, 200 period. Like, if we can sort of coin any kind of a trade that we've been doing, like what our trades are, it's the 200 period. That matters. So that's another look there for Palantir. Right now it's choppy, it's up here, but when the stock is moving, look for bounces in and around those levels. So there it is for PLTR again.
The other thing is it's the $70 level on Palantir, which has just been absolutely fantastic. Like there was all that accumulation and it just stayed as the most important level on Palantir the last few days. Like if you traded off just one price level, the first time it got there, I mean, it held up for a while, but even today, like I think we mentioned this in the morning show already, but it is what it is. Every single even 70, 71, and it looks like it's just going to continue. I love that continuation play on it. And as I probably should point out, what's interesting is obviously, look, I can wax. Like AMC could end up working on the reversion now, but it doesn't matter because the actual execution didn't work. But GameStop did the same pattern and would have already given you that trade. That said, I was using GameStop as a proxy, and not as a proxy, as like a leading indicator. So if you decide to use GameStop as a leading indicator to trade another stock, the question is, does that work for you in the past? I can tell you when Roaring Kitty came around the last time, the only profitable strategy I had that worked every single time, or at least 9 times out of 10, was fading on BlackBerry and other stocks because GameStop during that time wasn't even that great. Roaring Kitty. At least for a lot of day traders, it wasn't necessarily the best. And that's nothing against him. It's just the price action. It wasn't 2020. That's the best way to think about it. It was not 2020. XPeng is not what I want to look at. Amazon's starting to pull back in here. It is after 3 o'clock, a little bit early for the imbalances, but starting to actually think about them. You're still holding trend on Amazon since we came back on at 2 o'clock, which would mean higher lows. So the last, like this top in here, which is exactly where I tried it the one time, is 220.20. Now you're looking to hold the higher low off the prior resistance. So looking for it to make some kind of a rounded bottom, kind of like what you see in here, or like what you see in here. And then we take our shot in Amazon. Missed a chance here at 220.80, but at that time we're looking at AMC, right? So you go in the wrong stock, it is what it is, but you got to take your shot. I like this higher low on Amazon if we can catch it. Let me know what else you guys are watching in the chat. Uh-oh, no, Thomas, QBTS, did that do it? You just said big drop? No, it didn't. Big dump on QBTS. I don't know if that's a big dump on QBTS. It's still holding. Still holding. So QBTS didn't really go, but it's still holding the top end of that range for sure. And Trixie wants to take a look at GitLab.
Yeah, they report.
Tonight?
Yep.
The last time I traded GitLab was probably, it was months and months ago, but it was actually after earnings. So it was like the one time I traded it. I know it was the one time I traded because I've never traded it again, and it was a short trade after an earnings. It was a long time ago for a continuation play. Oh, good for them. They've actually filled in most of the gap here.
Nice.
Yeah, GitLab. Wow, that's a great recovery for GitLab. I didn't know it was doing so well. No, but it absolutely dumped off the 70 area and then was a good sort of continuation play on pops after earnings. But now it's in a nice little solid upward trend. So it's a little too far away from the 50 and the 200. Those are probably only coming into play if bad things happen. Ideally, you're just sort of breaking out the top here. A little bit of diddling in the middle of nowhere going into earnings and nothing terribly clean. And obviously not much of a trade today, except for the fact that somebody's selling a boat here at 66.50 when you look at the chart. Close price, another close, resistance, needs to chop through this area. Someone's clearly holding it underneath that price every time it gets there.
All right. First of all, Shopify right there goes into the club again, so that was nice. Again, perfect, almost like an NFT in what we're trying to do right there. Reverse NFT right here. GameStop makes the move down, and there it goes, right? So it does break that level. Now it looks like it wants to hold it. I'm actually going to try to go long one more time if we break through $30. Not revenge trading it. We'll use the same amount of shares. If it breaks it, then I think we can get going again to retry some of those highs. Would we make our money back? Yes, if we can get back up into $30.75. But I was going to break that there to see if we can get through 30, get up to there, up to 30.75, get that money back, put 75 cents in our pocket possibly against 29.50 if that goes. So we'll have to wait to see if that goes at all. Shopify's still going here. Google's still doing nothing at that bottom. iBit and Bitcoin really starting to go down. You know, like you knew, you didn't know anything, or else you'd be short Bitcoin. But at the end of the day, that $100 level, $100,000 level definitely came into play today and broke through. And since we've broken through, I'll call up the chart of Bitcoin, we really haven't seen any relief rally. I guess we might have right there. We did get back up to 99.2, but we never really shot the moon back to 100. And I think that's the one thing, like there's the break right here, right? So maybe we can even just zoom in just a little bit. There's the break at 100 right into this candle there. It didn't even give it a chance to go back up. So sometimes you'll see like on Tesla, it'll break, then come back, and then go, or something like that. It didn't do that reverse. Like it didn't hit, come back maybe into the 50 and then drop. It just kept on bleeding. So there it goes. And right now making new daily lows right now for Bitcoin. 98 now coming into play. So I don't mean to say that you might have had your out there at 104, 105 today, but that was a good double top right before this came through. I don't know if it was news-based or not. I mean, it doesn't have to be. It's probably not. So we'll have to wait to see if and when Bitcoin wants to sort of resume its upside move. I sort of talked about some consolidation in and around this area, and it looks like that's maybe why we bounced back up a little bit there just in the last 5 minutes. But right now it's looking here, and this is why I don't like, you got to have a plan of action before you start looking at the stock. Like, what is it trying to do right here, right? And I think that if you're bouncing off that level and you're long right now, this is going to be the spot where you're thinking about, you know, maybe that's the Alamo and where you want to get out, 97.7, because the next sort of area back in gets you 96 flat. This is 95. It's probably VWAP. So I would just say be pretty careful with what I'm seeing here in BTC. No relief rally whatsoever. on the 5-minute chart. So we weren't even able to cover up this last candle.
And judging by the chat here, many different time frames being discussed for when people are talking about where the support is. 98,000 is like, that's support you're looking at like a short-term trade. I see Vader Trader saying heading to 95. I see officially Unburdened saying paper hands. Jay Lee saying heading to 70,000 again. Okay, I think that's what people should be afraid of. Like, I mean,
Hugo, what are you doing?
Bitcoin has done like how many retracements over, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but 60 to 70% retracements, I don't know, 6, 7, from all-time highs. It's done at least 6 or 7 times, right? I mean, somebody can probably fact check that for me. It's at least half a dozen times it's done 60 or 70% from like, if you look at like a higher time frame chart. But I'm purposefully doing it this way where you don't see the big breakout. Remember what we're coming from, right? Like it was that long channel break in here. So when someone says we're getting down to 70, yeah, I think if you were to lose, I have a 90,000 roped off just for myself psychologically. I think if you were to lose this area to 88, then you're at risk of some kind of a bigger gap fill to the downside. And ultimately, that would be the bigger test. I think it's a reasonable pullback if you just look at a longer term chart and at some point we were to retest that level. But this is just one rejection of a high break, and we haven't even got back to prior support when you pull it on a daily chart. On a daily chart, this is nothing on BTC. So just keep that in mind. Your time frame is always going to matter. Amazon is trying to hold out, like you hold a consolidation, now you put a bit of a bottoming tail candle. So it's looking a little bit like it did before, but the next step would be at least holding the higher low and trying to break away from this area. That hasn't happened yet, so we might not actually get that. You could always just head lower, and then there isn't a trade at all in Amazon. And if anybody's still looking at it, had I still been in this, VWAP would be the out every single time. It bounced off VWAP, and I'm talking about AMC. I'm not in the short, but if you did hold on to the short, obviously VWAP was from where the trend line came in. And when I look at a trade like this, Ramin, chart. When I look at a trade like this, if the reason to get in was going to be the trend line and a bounce off VWAP where we started it, then when it reverts back into VWAP, that's the target out. So I'd be out of the trade if we were still in it. But like I said, fail for stopping out of it. That was kind of the setup I was waiting for and liked. Whether or not we get the setup in Amazon, I don't know. I can tell you that you are now short sell restricted on Uber. So Uber has now, just a couple of seconds ago, gotten all the way down 10%. So now what I'd be looking for is, can you break the trend and give some kind of a reversal play? So the most recent, I mean, it's obviously a pretty hefty trend down, but I like to look at the most recent low break, which took us here. So if it can give some kind of a trend break, kind of like the AMC setup, I'd look for the break back up. I don't think VWAP is reasonable there. I just heard AAL. This might not get above, so there might not be an entry recently, but I just heard something about AAL, which has been an absolute rocket ship, so I didn't want to check that out.
All right, 85, 44 until I can see a little bit better. Okay, so the market did just have that move down. GME tried to break through $30 again, by the way, and did not do that. We took out some more shares on Shopify right there at the top side. That was $1. We're now only have, I just used the math, about 15% or so left on this trade. Good couple outs there on the top side. I mean, our first out on Shopify was for 40 cents. So, we've made pretty good on that one. This is, let me just show you GME, but without just talking about it. We were going to go long if it broke through $30, remember, right there. So we have an out there. We tried to take that break. I'm fine with taking it. It does come all the way back. It gave us a chance to get out again. Look at this, man. Once, twice, thrice, triple tops. So I think if we learned anything today about GME, it's just that it's fine following technical levels. And I mean, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is, triple top. And then we're going to go long breaking through 30. It never happened. We don't have to worry about it right now. I'm going to cancel that trade, but if it goes, it goes. I'm not going to take it maybe too late in the day. Actually, I'll keep it in right now. There's still 35 minutes. Maybe it does go, and we'll try that shot. All right, just in the triple Qs here, heading into the close. So we're underneath VWAP. We're underneath a bunch of stuff. I just want to see if there is potentially a little bit of a bouncing spot here. Look at the Nasdaq on the 60-minute chart. We can even go down to the 30-minute chart, get a little bit more of a look here. as we go. So there it is. Hopefully we can bounce off this. That's 21,450. That would be a decent level there. That's a 50-period moving average. 21,400. If we're underneath that tomorrow, then we will play shorts back in on this, right? And so if we can get underneath this 21,400, that is the short area for me and a long into it. So we'll see where we open up tomorrow, which is kind of what I'm trying to look at right now with the TQQs. So that's going to be the Nasdaq here. And then there is our early look. Oops, I clicked on it, but I'm on the wrong chart for the triple Qs. So this, again, is just a triple levered. I don't really, the leverness doesn't matter to me, or I'm just trading the prices that I see. So there it is, right into there. So 85.50. If we lose the low of the day, it'll probably lose it. So let's give it about 10 more cents, only because if it loses it, that's the Nasdaq. We could get accelerated, and then we want to be able to sort of maybe get that bounce back up. So we'll give it 10 more cents to this downside, 85.40 or so, but another brand new position for me here on the TQQs. And again, it's a decent sized position. It's going to be probably notional, you know, more than definitely for me, one of the higher trades that we've had on here today. So let's see if this one works out or not. But it's again, it's trying to catch a falling knife. So we're not taking too much risk right here. I think it's well worth it into this level. But that's 24.75. Yeah, we still have lower to go.
You mentioned the early looks
on this.
I don't know if you showed them.
I mentioned it. No, I didn't show.
So nothing burger, unless you're excited about Enbridge being another buy and balance, which one of these days I'm going to call it up in Toronto. And just remind everybody it's dual listed. So it's completely insignificant if there's a buy and balance in Enbridge of 2 million, unless it's also a buy and balance when it comes out in Toronto. And oftentimes, I've said this before, you will find that if it's dual listed, it'll be a buy in one and a sell in the other. And then that's a bit of a trap for people. Charge point is $1 million, but it's a dollar stock. So the only thing of remote interest might be a Walmart at 700,000 to the sell side, but we'll let you guys know. Obviously at 350 when it comes live, we'll show you guys those imbalances, anything interesting. So Uber is now 10% and still falling. It continues to break lows. You're kind of running out of time for it to do some kind of a bounce play, but it is SSR. It is the only name that's really setting up for me right now after obviously AMC, which is now through VWAP, continues to fall. So I'm hunting on Uber, see if we get something here. I don't know if there's anything else, although I keep seeing people talk about Unity in the chat. So like what? Is the Unity deciding it's going to have a good day today when everything else is bleeding?
No, it was Adair brought that story.
Oh, that's right.
It was a Roaring Kitty thing.
Yep. Right, yeah. Roaring Kitty for reasons on Unity.
All right. Yep, that's why. Yeah, no. Adair was just going to correct you, but I already did.
Okay.
Not correct you, but let you know that it was that Unity thing right there. And it was just, it's that whole trying to decode exactly.
So people are guessing that?
I guess so. I mean, I guess so. I don't know. All right, so we'll wait to see what's going on with all of that, man. I don't. We can check out GameStop again for everybody. I mean, it's down here at 29. Like this would be the spot. You know, I'm a little bit wrapped up now with these Qs, but like it's right back to VWAP off of a triple top. Like if you were short here, this is a great spot to cover. I mean, whether or not you're short or not, I don't know, but this is a decent spot right here to cover if you are. You know, you could get this breakdown lower, of course. And remember, like, people are going to be holding these options overnight. They're going to be doing things like, you know, so we still have tomorrow, tomorrow being Friday. So a lot of options are going to come to expire there. Could be interesting, $30 call mark on GameStop. We'll see if that comes into play again tomorrow or even in the end of the day right now. But trading off VWAP. And again, we talk about the strategies like once, twice, thrice, boom, all the way to the downside. So a triple top, I mean, it could be a double top. It doesn't really matter. But when you retrace back into the VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price now, basically everybody that's been involved in this, you could drop an anchor. The anchor would be up here if you do it since the volume came in, right? But this is just from the whole day and from including from yesterday as well and overnight. So we'll wait to see what happens right there on the WAP. So what was that, Joe? Right, there you go. So exactly. So Joe's just talking about the option level there. A lot of, and that's why I'm talking like that. See, so me and Joe, you know, we connected. We seeing each other right there. But yeah, I was saying maybe a put wall up there. You could see the same thing potentially on Bitcoin now that we're underneath 100,000. Check out IBIT and things like that for said walls.
And also remember, like everyone's all excited to get these ETFs and for Bitcoin and for all of. I mean, look, it's not just Bitcoin. I mean, you got the ETH out there. You're getting a Tether. It's just there's so many out there. Solana. So ultimately, it just creates a lot more leverage and puts more pressure if we do have downside moves. Because when you get these like when leverage unwinds, it looks nasty. There's look obviously. Uber doesn't seem like it wants to revert. We're continuing to fall lower here. Tesla is screaming through 370. There's no bid at VWAP on that. I've seen a couple AMD. Someone's mentioning, look, if it's in the market and it's not Unity, it's probably falling at this particular moment. So if I don't get this set up here in Uber, I don't mind looking over here. Yeah, I mean, it's not at the low of the day yet, but down a couple of points and continuing to bleed here. Nvidia is also through VWAP and falling. There's not a heck of a lot holding up very well here, except for, I mean, there's a few names out there that are worth watching. But if we do get one last shot, I am still looking for Uber. I just saw someone also put in the chat what's going on with, like, I understand AMC and GameStop, but they've all come back here. So I was here, got out there, and now you're back at 520. You're underneath VWAP. Essentially, what goes up must come down. So I guess they still like Unity for this story for reasons unknown. But AMC and GameStop are continuing to go back down off the Roaring Kitty news. At this point, Uber is down 11%. It might be a tomorrow-type trade, but the SSR bounces have been good. Like the other day, Chewy was fantastic. If you had Foot Locker, I had Chewy, not Foot Locker. Foot Locker was a really, really good bounce. Play the day after. Ugh. But yeah, we're starting to bleed to the downside. Like sometimes this happens. Like the market was doing just fine. It had a lot of good heavy lifters. Amazon kicked butt today. You had Microsoft was super strong at one point. Tesla had a monster day today. But this Bitcoin 100,000 thing, maybe some risk is starting to come off, right? Like you have to understand that sometimes these things tend to follow each other. But we're still looking for the reversion on Uber. Unless we get that, I don't see another trade for myself that's obvious in here. Amazon lost bid as well.
Yeah, Amazon. Yeah, everything's losing bid. We'll probably wind up losing on this TQQ trade here as well, looking like it wants to break through. Oops, that's still GME. Sorry about that. As it looks like it wants to break through. There it is right here. Break through this 40 area, which is what we are sort of going to play off of, just trying to give it a little bit of room through. Remember we said like 50 probably could have been that bottom. So we did try it. We're going to give it a little bit more room. It's not like we're long at 60. So I feel comfortable about the position sizing and what we have right now. As you know, yesterday we had 150 handles in the money and so on and so forth. So right now we're down 13 handles. Let's see what winds up happening now with the TQs. I mean, it's having its day. I mean, you could check out Apple. I mean, there's a lot of names right now that just are not. You talked about Amazon losing the bid. I mean, there were a lot of strong names that just got weak real quick, right? I mean, now Apple's now red in the day. We saw Google not hold that level there of 173. You know what we haven't looked at?
Oh, this is the best comment
Meta
today.
For a while.
Mo for the win. My money is on Intel for the Roaring Kitty tweet. See, now that just put a smile on my face. Roaring Kitty's smarter than that. Let's just leave it at that. No, that's not. It's just not his cup of tea. There's no massive institutional short position in Intel. There's obviously shorts in there, but that's just not his cup of tea, right? Like, I like the comment. It's good and fun for amusement, but I think he probably is going to stay. Heath Gill probably stays in his lane. Is going to be my guess. When he starts analyzing the semiconductor space, I think it's a different story. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, we can all pick these names that are down 70%.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah,
but
I think it fits the bill there, down 70% on the year, whatever it is, Intel, at levels that we haven't seen in 40 years. I just think that that could be a depressed asset. That makes sense because why maybe
SPCE would be interesting.
He was looking, or why he was looking at GameStop because of how beat up that name was back in the day as well. But remember, it's completely different. Just go back and watch that movie. There, I don't remember what it's called anymore. Dumb Money, yeah, which
on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazon wins over and over again.
Yeah, it does. I'm not watching. So I finally finished The Penguin. I thought that was actually pretty good. So we're done The Penguin. I love the last. No, that's not on Amazon. That's on HBO. That is an absolutely fantastic.
I should just pay for Crave. I don't.
Yeah, man.
I have everything, but I have literally everything else.
Crave is the best.
Yeah, I know I should.
Yeah.
What else can I watch besides Penguin? That's
everything.
Oh, I can rewatch The Wire.
Absolutely everything.
The Wire.
Yeah. All the best things.
You've seen
Sopranos, everything. No, I don't watch The Wire. All of that. I mean, I should. I know how good you say it is, but I've never watched it. Yeah, it has everything. It's HBO.
I think there's maybe HBO 2 or 3 shows better than Sopranos, and The Wire is one of them. That's how high I think of The Wire. Sopranos is unbelievable, but
yeah, I mean,
I put a couple of things.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so here we go. The market is trying to make a move back here. I did want to look at Meta. Okay, here we go. Now we're starting to go back up. We take a 58 fill there. I'm going to take another fill here at 59s. Now we're starting to go. So we're finally back basically in the money now on this futures trade. Need it to start to go, man. These imbalances would be nice if they come out bids, but I don't want to be messing around. We're getting a little bit too late. I thought the move might have happened already. So I'm going to start to pair off just a little bit here on this move. But there it is, right back up to the upside. So it looks like we did good by holding on to it. Let's go TQQs right now. I'm just like happy to get out basically for in and around for flat now. All right, so I'm only out of 25%. Let's see if it can get back going. I feel a lot better now about the risk to reward and the ratios that we have now on TQQs. So good job there, market, not me, of holding those levels. So let's keep going to the upside right now, market. That would be nice. Adara, she's over at the screen.
What we're going to do here, as we always do, about halfway through Power Hour, we're going to take a look at some of these larger movers to the upside and downside in the S&P 500. And right now, we're going to focus on this sector over here that is going to be the transportation sector. There it is, found it just there. There's a lot of big movers to the upside and downside with catalyst and transportation, so I thought it might be fun to take a look. Starting with some of these airlines, LUV here, we have Southwest up about 3%, announcing this morning that they had, I guess, higher than expected Q4 unit revenue guidance. They also announced a $7 million buyback program to be launched in Q1 2025. Then we had American Airlines here, AAPL. This one's still actually near days highs, up about 19%, guiding adjusted earnings per share for Q4 between 55 and 75 cents, well above estimates of 39 cents. Last but not least here, UBER. This one is not new. Uber is down about 10% right now, near days lows. Couple different speculations as to why this is happening. We knew Tesla had that big move to the upside, getting some positive analyst notes, and Tesla, much like Uber, is in that driving space, specifically Tesla with its robo-taxis. But then you also have, for UBER, the fact that Waymo has announced it's expanding into Miami, so another competitor causing UBER to be pushed to the downside, guys. Back to you.
All right, right now we're starting to go. Let's go. Let's hit the hot dog gun. Come on, man. Come on, Qs. Let's go back to the upside right now. 10 handles in the money. Remember, the most we were out was 13 handles. Let's see if we can keep going upside right now. We are well positive now on the triple Qs, but again, like, it depends on what your targets are. Like, honestly, we only now have, correct. We have to do the E-signal ad read. My bad. My bad. All right. E-signal, look, you can look at charts. We can talk about that all the time. Neil and I get frustrated all of the time because our charting sometimes will give out. You guys know that. You see that on the show. That's why I default to the best trading platform, period. This is why I've been using it for 22 years. I like E-signal, infinite data, instant trading, better charting than I've been able to see anywhere else. Very consistent, entitlement-based, brokers. You connect to over 50 plus brokers, has an app store, has scanners, has everything. It's fantastic. It's E-signal. But click that QR code, go nuts for you. I'm gonna go back to trading here a little bit. Thank you, Signal, for all that you do for us and all of our viewers and for the trading community. What's up, Kathy? You in there buying this 98 dip or what on Bitcoin? Nice move back there on Bitcoin. As you can see, the TQs also making that move back up. So I feel like Bitcoin might have saved the day. Oh, we went long there by accident, I guess. Right there, added a little bit to our position. We meant to go the other way. All right, so now nice move upside now, 85.70, trying to go. We just took some out. Let's watch out what's happening right now with the TQQs and the futures. So that's what I'm on. That's the kind of tip that I'm on right now. Shopify's come all the way back, but we said we only had 15%. Adara's mic, I believe, is still live, which is why I'm hearing it in my ear. 114.15 coming into play right there if you wanted to reload this. I'm close to getting out of everything as we're trying to take out the 50 period, or sorry, the 200 period, which is the reason why we got in the first place. So we'll take another piece out right here. Hey man, it's a big win for me, Shopify today, so we'll watch out for that and hope that these futures can continue its march higher. I'm here for it, man. 10 handles. Let's take another piece out right now if we can. I'm taking out like 5% at a time, trying to hold out for hope. But again, with 12 minutes left, I hate the word hope. I love the word hope, but not in stock market. We need to be able to be convinced of what's happening here, not just hope and pray that something's going to happen. So right now, I'm going to sit here, watch out for the TQQs, and we still have our stop right there, breaking through 40. So let's give it that little last ride up. We're pretty much with house money now, so even if it goes all the way back down, it'll be a small hit, but it will still be a hit. So let's hold out that maybe we get this bump in the night here at close. So,
ooh, bump in the night.
Thanks for trusting me with this trade, guys.
Yeah, and we're getting a bounce a lot of places, so great look on the future. Tesla bounces 370, Bitcoin bounces 98 sort of. It's not to 99,000, so it's not that big of a bounce on Bitcoin. No, we actually got into support on Amazon, and it did eventually catch a bid. Position was not working. Okay, fine. I'm long 220.77 on Amazon, and it's trying to. I'm just looking for the range reversion on Amazon. While the other thing that's happening, it's going to happen right now, or at least hopefully I don't jinx it, is Uber and I don't have it drawn there. I have it drawn on my black chart. Uber's trying to close above this lower trend. So since it broke low of the day, the 66 breakdown, it's trying to break the trend line in its SSR. So I'm looking for the break at trend line. It needs to close above. So it needs to close above a 3-minute chart, 64.75-ish. If it can do that, I'm looking for the mean reversion. And of course, I think I might have just jinxed it. It looked like it was going to happen on Uber, but I guess it's not. Like the second it starts to bounce on Uber, right back down. So maybe an SSR bounce play we'll have to look for tomorrow. I will answer John F. Thank you for the super chat, John. Do you have a trade the pool competition update? I don't. I think well, look, tomorrow is the last day. We're supposed to be getting an update tomorrow for the last day of the competition. Appreciate you asking. I just heard in my ear that we are going to get an update tomorrow. So make sure you tune in. We'll have that for you. See how everyone is doing. You can always let us know if you're in the competition, the Trade the Pool competition, how you are doing in it, if you happen to know your results. And I said earlier today, I feel like a few people probably did well for the first time trading something like a Tesla or a bigger cap name. Whereas most days, you think it was those small caps. Today, I think Tesla could have been your one to take you to the promised land in that competition.
All right. Yeah, I know Tesla was a big one around here. Props up to everybody who did that. What's up to Salvador right here? He's in at TQQs with me. And look, man, me and you, again, we're seeing eye to eye. You're out of 50% already on that one. So a great trade there for you on the futures. As we said, man, we just got right back into it. Like we say, man, we know where our bread is buttered, and we did have a good read there one more time on the futures, and it looks like it is starting to pay off here as it continues to go back up to said upside. So far, so good right there. It's 341. We're not super excited here about the market. It's not doing a whole heck of a lot. We are sort of lucky that we bounced. I mean, we talked about 21,450. It bounces off 21,460. We were close to getting stopped out, but at the end of the day, I mean, we've been stopped out before and had the market rip against us. So I feel, pretty good that sometimes we're able to get in and out of things. So there's a 67 and a 68 out for me right now, over 16 handles in the money. And just like you, Salvador, we're starting to clean up a little bit now. My next out is 85.75, which is going to be sort of right into here. I don't know if we're going to get there. I'm getting very nervous. Not nervous for anything other than the fact that we have earnings coming. We have a couple big names. And then we also have the imbalances that are going to be coming out very, very soon. So here's the balances right now. We don't have anything for Nasdaq. Anything that's on here will be from 930. That's a Nasdaq name, but it's pretty mixed. So we'll wait to see where this goes. At 350, you'll get them all coming out. And then again, you don't necessarily want to be in the Nasdaq index, because if the imbalances come red, then, Nvidia, all that, they'll fall down and we'll carry this with it. So let's be careful. We still have our stop there at 40, which is hence why, look at all the outs we have up here at the 50-period moving average. Today was a good day. Let's not give it all back here by being silly into the close. So, yeah, we just, Obi is a very, very busy man this month. I mean, Obi next week, I'm off Tuesday and Friday, Neil off Wednesday, Neil off the next Tuesday, I'm off the 19th, which is the Thursday. Brendan's off pretty much all of Christmas week. I'm off the first day.
The whole week?
Yep, the 23rd. You're off your birthday there. Obi's back in. I'm off the 31st. I took New Year's Eve off. So anyways, very, very exciting times here at Trader TV Live. Get ready for a couple new hosts. We want to thank Joe for providing everything that he's doing, and Sharif as well, and Adara, of course, over there on the desk. And Adara and I tonight will bring you Lululemon, HPE earnings coming after hours. It's going to be a big one. Rubrik as well, looking to come out. Woof, GitLab, DocuSign, and Ulta Beauty.
Ulta's going to be...
I had Ulta Beauty.
Ulta, that's going to be a wild one. Oh yeah, remember the Elf has fireworks. Ulta Beauty should probably have some fireworks. That's a good list, actually. That's
Exactly, yeah.
I guess it's the last salvo of earnings, everybody. So that's the biggie. Obviously, you stay tuned no matter what. But that's a fantastic list of earnings we're gonna get. Only 5 minutes to go. The imbalances. Yeah, this will 100% be the last trade. But Uber did break trend. Excuse me. It did close above the trend line, barely, and then held above the second time through. So when it broke, so there's your there's your close, your reopen above the trend line, like right there. So there's your condition in. It then broke a prior low, so I got in, and we tried to add it. I got 76s. I was trying to add literally at 70s if we can pick up some more there. So trend reversion on Uber. Oh yeah, Amazon, and again, only 5 minutes of the imbalances. Amazon broke through 221. I'm just looking for it to get back into this resistance at 225 and a half.
Shit.
With only 5 minutes to go, nothing really changed on the early look except for HL as a sell for 1.8 million shares. That's pretty much it. There's nothing there. It's still Enbridge, which I think we mentioned is probably a nothing burger. If it comes out big, if Enbridge comes out big in the Toronto exchange, then I think it'll be a little bit of something. But if that doesn't happen, then forget about it. So Uber, which has been bleeding all day, trying to catch a bid, down 10%. Ooh, interesting. I was about to say, I need money. You better have meant 375 on Tesla, because you just posted 275 close you call on Tesla. Yeah, you better mean 375, because the 275 would have people panicking. That's 100% true. All right, so we're into Amazon. Obviously, that bounce is going to work. We'll see about an Uber in here. My stop is under the prior support level every single time. That's how we roll.
All right, that's how we roll. And how we roll is with this, hopefully. And again, I may just start to trade the futures only, man. There it goes. Yes, sir. It's a 21 handle winner right now on the futures. And look, this is the thing. Neil's traded 14 symbols, Joe, Sharif, everybody. But you know what? The TQQs goes into number 2, and we just started the trade here. So thing is like sometimes when you're on the right names in the right space, you can see what's happening. Hopefully it can get going. I don't want to get too convinced that this is going up right now, because we do have 3 minutes. Shout out to the Piper and everybody else out there that's waiting for these imbalances to come in. And I'm just slowly getting them out, man. We still have a third left. So I'm actually going to put out right now another 15%, see if we can get it here at 74. Because, yeah, I am getting a little bit nervous. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't go up to one of the top stocks of the day without putting on some risk. So obviously, if I still have a third left, I still have some risk on here. So I'm going to take some more out as we go. Congratulations to those of you trailing this trade. It looks like it's going to work out for us. But you never know where it's going to go. We cannot now go red on the futures because the imbalance won't, even if it comes all the way back down. We just got to have another piece right now. So now we only have... We had a third left. Now we have about 25% left. So let's wait to see here. We do have another one to the upside. Yeah, Neil's already in Uber, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. Palantir's coming out right now with the imbalances as well. So that's going to be a nice move there. Just real quick. Here comes the imbalances. I'm going to get this going, and we'll see if the futures do rip up or down. Our stop orders are in there no matter what for that one. So here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, no, sorry. You still have 2 minutes before they come out. So I'm just going to get all set up here to go. New York and Nasdaq, this is what we're looking for. I've got rid of all the brokers. They'll be updated once that market flies through. So I thought we were a little bit, for some reason I was like, where am I? Right there, we misjudged the time. So I'm going to get another piece out right now.
A little bit of time.
At 70. Yeah, it's still, yeah, good point. There still is some decent time left here. So let's wait. Good thing we traded some of these names here in the afternoon, including Shopify, as that made that move up and now into the futures. I'm going to get out one more piece right now, actually, in these futures. Getting a little nervous as we're pulling back here, heading into the close.
Yeah, and with it being 1 minute to the imbalances, so Uber did make a bounce. It just got to 65, so it goes to next level up. So stop goes from here to this prior bar, which is, prior bar close or bottom, which is 70, which ends up being break even. I said I was trying to get more at 70. Well, we got filled at 70. If it loses 70, I'm out. Part of that is going to be it's the end of the day. Obviously, we're not carrying trades. And then the imbalances, like Uber's in the news today. Like, would it be crazy if Uber had an imbalance? Not really. So I'm not expecting it will, but if it did, I want to make sure we get the trail out. And then a similar story on Amazon. here. Like it did get through 21 and then a bit of a fade. So I'm just looking at that prior support, which is at 88.
Here it comes.
And we're going to move the stop in there to 88. So obviously, you know, it could come out of buy or sell imbalance. If it comes out of sell imbalance, it's very likely I get stopped out. But at least at this point, you know, if we get stopped out, it'll be underneath or above where we got into it. So it can't turn into a losing trade. At this point, if we get a pop up, I'm looking to get taken out just underneath the 40 level. So Amazon and Uber both looking like they want to make that bounce. Now remember, this is a scalp trade. This is Uber today. Uber has taken it on the chin, right? So I'm zooming out so that you can get an idea. Yeah, that's great. You know, it bounced. Hey, you get a bounce. It was 25, 30 cents. But we're absolutely flying to the downside overall in Uber. Bounces are out. It's Nvidia that leads at 1.4 million to buy. Whatever Eric is 2.6. BAC sell 2.2 million. PAC B is only $2. 1 million, that's only a $2 stock. Walmart, 900,000 to the sell. WFC as well, 900,000 to the sell side. So really, the only big one is Nvidia and 1.3 million on Nvidia. That's a nothing burger on Nvidia. So I'd say that's absolutely nothing. Amazon just flew to the upside, so we did get target on Amazon. Dip buy on Amazon going to work? Dip buy, well, not a dip buy on Uber. It was a trend break on Uber going to work. The one that's unfortunate, of course, is AMC because AMC lost, even though the trade idea was right. But it's all about the execution. Good day at the end of the day today. Anything that ends in Y and you can be green, you got to be happy about it. But I will be looking back at why I did not have my stop there at the high of the day, right? I put my stop at the high of the day, which usually I would, we'd have a winning trade on AMC. You've got to be able to go back and say, hey, well, what was my reason for doing so? I reacted maybe too much to what GameStop was doing. That's the answer. I have to ask myself if that was the right answer. Because if I just took this on the technical trade, it would have worked. But because I actually looked at GameStop, I had a tighter stop on it.
All right, here we go, man. TQs, again, another big day for that one. 17 cents, we just take that out to the upside. Now we're getting pretty light on it. We still have about 15% now left on this as it continues to work out. I mean, Shopify as well just got that bounce out at the 200 period. Another good trade there. We'll just try to hold this maybe into the close for the TQs. Maybe we do get a little bit higher. I don't know. I mean, the Nasdaq's trying to get going there. We did look at the imbalances just a little bit there. Ericsson, BAC, Nvidia with the bid as well. We do have Lululemon coming through at the end of the day, so we can see what that's doing right now. Again, DocuSign, all of these stocks coming in at the end of the day. There's Lulu up now 1% today, which is nice. With the Nasdaq being down, I think Lulu has a very good chance to beat. Getting rid of all their inventory, I like it. They're trying to get a little leaner on that side of things. We'll see if Lululemon wants to work, but it's already had a pretty epic climb, man. I mean, this was $200. I mean, not really. That's 200. That's August, but breaking that 50 period of 261, now up almost $100 from there. I like the stock. Nice move there for Uber. Shopify. Let's just get the rest out right now. I mean, this is going to be another big trade. So let's spin the money there for Shopify as it's all the way up now, trying to break through that 74 level. We'll sit there and get filled if we can in and around that 74. Just one little more push, and we'll get those fills right there. Hopefully we can break it and cake it, break it and take it. And there it is right there.
Awesome. Cake.
And today, what's up, Ozan, if you're around, my guy? Right there, okay. TQs also 63, 64s. That's 13 handles in the money. We might as well just start to get out more and more. Oh, that's Shopify. Sorry, still my bad. We still have a little bit of left on Shopify. TQs dancing around. That's literally going to be it for me. We looked at DocuSign into the close. Let's have a quick look as they report. Joined Dara and myself today on that 83.40, 83.50. Therefore, DocuSign, not much happening into the close for that one. And then the other big name I think that a lot of you may be on is GitLab. So we'll have to have a look there as well. Amazon's pulling back today as well. So GitLab on the downside move, today, but back almost trying to get green. Still down that 0.39 versus 0.25. So I'm just going to throw it over to Adair and start piecing out more of this futures trade.
Keep an eye here on SMCI. I do want to say thank you. Neil brought this to my attention. Thank you, Easy Peasy, for the $5 super chat asking me specifically if SMCI is reporting earnings tonight. I could not find any evidence that they did. There was one tweet today from the SMCI CEO, the first time he's posted any tweets in over a month. Sean mentioned this earlier as well. When I went to click on the tweet, it actually says it doesn't exist anymore, so it may have been deleted. It was tweeted just before 3 p.m. today, and it actually specifically tagged Elon Musk. When the tweet, and again, I'll still look to see if this tweet does still exist, but basically it seemed to be SMCI CEO asking Elon Musk or suggesting that Elon Musk should invest in some of their products with regards to its supercomputers in terms of, Elon Musk working with XAI. So SMCI CEO, interesting post there, again, trying to, looks like soliciting business there from Elon Musk. But in terms of actual any news on earnings, nothing that I can find. Thank you very much for the super chat. Easy peasy. Back to you guys.
Yeah, shout out to you, Easy Peasy. I feel like that's one of those, if SMCI was gonna drop that report finally, we'd know all about it. But a good look. I think everyone's anticipating it there for sure. I mean, the day, heck man, if SMCI, if they actually get the real all clear on SMCI, there's a lot more to the upside that could happen. But just keep in mind, it's still incredibly risky. So 55 just hit, and market went down, Uber went up. Nothing of note happened on the imbalance locator, except Nvidia flipped. So Nvidia was a small buy imbalance of like 1 million shares. It is now gone. So I don't see anything anymore on the imbalance locator that's of interest, with the exception of maybe, if you're into BAC, 2 million is not insignificant for BAC. So good look there for BAC. I'm just going to double check and throw an offer there. I moved my trail on Uber, but BAC is the only one sticking around, and it just tanked. So yes, you already had, if your opportunity to short BAC on that imbalance is probably gone. So you need to probably have it in here on BAC. So yeah, really nothing much going on the imbalance locator as far as I'm concerned. Tesla pulling back. Whoa, what happened to Amazon there?
I was going to say, I'm going to go over
what the heck happened to Okay.
I don't know. Look at TD Bank right here, guys. Down 7% and bleeding into the close. So just anybody there, probably an imbalance, but just ticking down with big volume right now. I saw someone in the chat say TD Bank's next area, $47. Well, you are well below. You're probably, I got to go over to the desk in a minute, but I just want to look here, TD Bank. I just want to see it because, whoopsies, darn it, I just closed it.
It is a sell.
Is it a sell? Okay.
Yeah, it's about, that's not for, yeah, it's a sell imbalance.
All right, so I just wanted to look on TD Bank here. I'm going to go over to a weekly chart because I just want to see how, because I'm willing to step in here and try to buy some of this, but you're at levels, you're below 2020. So you're sitting in this stock here. You've collected 3% for 5 years, which is great. But right now, all of the capital appreciation is gone. So I'm thinking you're coming into some levels. No wonder why maybe you said 46, 47. That would be pretty nice. But again, up there, almost doubles up to 80, and now all the way back. And I'm just saying, this is not the environment here in Canada. I mean, this is Royal Bank. Just to show you, very much similar to what you guys see in the United States, where there's winners and there's losers. TD Bank's a huge loser. This one right here, I like the stock. I'm not in Royal Bank either. My bank is BNS, so this could be at the same level since 2020 as
BNS
well.
Is better.
Yeah, BNS is slightly better.
Royal's really good.
Yeah,
CIBC's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's only
I think Royal's the best. Bank of Montreal and Royal Bank are the two best.
Probably. Yeah, there's CIBC. Wow, huge move ups there as well. So yeah, man, I just think it's about time to maybe start.
Well, we joke about it.
Some TD Bank.
Just invest in the one that you bank with. Because I bank with CIBC, and then I got tricked into that 54 bottom a couple of times, and I didn't take any profit when it went to 80. So I bought that level on TD. I won't give the other reason why, whatever. But I wanted that U.S. exposure, and it's just been a dud. Just a couple of things in there. So I didn't see a reason for Amazon, by the way. It probably was, my guess is small buy imbalance flipped to a sell imbalance on Amazon. That's the best I can come up with. The other thing to keep in mind is, remember, stocks that go, especially big cap tech names, that give you this ramp up like this, right? Like if you get that ramp up and steady, strong buying, if they're a buyback company where they're doing buybacks, you can't do buybacks in the last 10 minutes of the day. So sometimes you'll get these dips at the end of the day in these trend up big cap tech names that are doing buybacks. So that's the other reason that you might be seeing this happen in Amazon. I don't know. I'm just 100% speculating here. But if that's the case, I would look for this maybe potentially tomorrow and going forward in Amazon. If it goes trend up all day long, maybe look for a mean reversion in the final 10 minutes of the day. So that's just my 2 cents there on Amazon. Apparently, Harsh in the chat just said airline stocks are tanking. Oh, yeah, my AAL chart hates me. My 15-minute. Okay, maybe not tanking. Pulling back after what was an unbelievable day. Shout out to AAL. I mean, we didn't even talk about the cruise lines. They've been having a pretty good week as well. And AAL has been an absolute rocket ship today. 17%, so it's just a slight pullback. The bell brought to you by Firefly Neurosciences. And let's ring it in 3, 2, and 1. Thank you very much, Adara. Shout out to Firefly Neurosciences, revolutionizing brain health. How did the market do at the close? 0.3 to the downside on the Nasdaq and 0.2 to the downside on the ES. Leading the way for a lot of the day, obviously, was Tesla. Tesla's going to end up 3%, so not that bad at all. Pretty decent day there. But really, one of the bigger stories was the shocking, I mean, outside of a really tiny bounce at the end of the day, was the shocking move down for Uber, Waymo getting operations going in Miami, and Uber taking it on the chin. Want to give a big shout out to Fabian and Ramin on the ones and twos, always making us look and sound good. And a big shout out to my man Joe and Sharif on that midday kicking butt, whether it's GameStop, whether it's options, whether it's small caps, whether it's Tesla. I know you had that Tesla bounce as well, Joe. Fantastic trading. And also a big shout out, of course, to Jeff Mendel for coming by yesterday. He stopped by today. You guys didn't get a chance to see it from the OTC markets. And a big important shout out to both Brendan and Adara on the desk, getting you guys those news. But we got some earnings to get to. We got the market recap show, and you know who's over at the desk doing double duty today, like we always do around here. Mr. Katina, Adara, and your market recap with earnings to boot. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, big time earnings. Hey, Adara, how's it going? How you
Good,
doing?
how are you? I always forget there's no chairs.
Yeah, get rid of those chairs here. Does Neil sit down? No, you guys don't sit down too, do you?
We sit down.
Oh, you sit
but
down.
Also, to be fair, he did have a foot injury for a lot of
No, it's not. I was just wondering how.
No, I think that's why it's like there's more
through.
difference. Yeah.
All right, welcome to the after show right now. I mean, kind of a busy day here today as we wind up. Relatively flat. I mean, there was a couple moves there at the end of the day. Just looking here at the Qs, triple Qs right now today. Wind up down 0.36, so that's a negative move there for the market. The S&P 500 today also down that 0.2%. IWM, an interesting one down today, down 1.25% on IWM as that one keeps going. I want to thank everybody for staying with us right now. Woof now out, I guess, WOF now out. We'll have a look at that in just a minute. Tan to the downside. What was up today? Uranium was up a little bit there today. China was up. Some of the financials up today with XLF. Gold, a nice little downside move today, down 0.73. We've actually had this talk earlier, gold or Bitcoin. What do you think is a better investment in the next 5 years?
I don't know. It's hard. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I think, Kate, with the election, I'll say what? I'll say now. I'll say Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. All right, I like that one. Thank you.
Just because of what I think is going to happen politically.
Oh, it's okay. It doesn't matter. I mean, I think it's to each their own. And I think that if you're maybe not investing in equity, why not have a split portfolio? Why can't you have half in gold, half in Bitcoin? You don't have to have all in one.
I agree. I like that approach.
Get that going. Hit the like, hit the chat, hit everything. We're ready to rock and roll. We're going to wait for Lululemon coming through today. It looks like Petco is out, Adara. I don't know.
I have woof earnings.
You have woof earnings.
Yes.
So what was expected here, just real quickly? Expected EPS negative 0.3. What do we get?
So we did get a net loss of 6 cents per share.
All right, so a little bit lower than expected on woof.
Yes.
But you know what?
But
Puff, pass. There's absolutely nothing happening right now with Petco.
Exactly. And the thing I always want to clarify.
Dog or cats?
Both.
Both. I like
Honestly,
it.
both. What about you? Dog, right?
Dog.
Yeah,
Dog.
I figured.
Dog.
Also, I just want to clarify, sometimes the analyst estimates that we see are not always going to be the same ones that the market is reacting to. There's certain different consensus, so I always want to clarify that before saying estimates. That being said, it looks like Wolf did have a little bit of a larger than expected loss per share. However, their net revenue was a slight beat, $1.51 billion. I was seeing estimates of $1.5 billion, so they beat by just a hair from what I'm seeing. We also should be getting Rubrik as of right now here. I'm going to check if they're out. That company was backed by Microsoft. They're up 15%. Yeah, RBRK is out here sharply to the upside. Adjusted losses of 21 cents per share. That is better than the expected 40-cent per share loss. Then we had their sales, 236.2 million versus 217.52 million. Expected. They beat across the board. They actually IPO'd earlier this year, so good look for RBRK.
Yeah, so we just had, again, the Dow Jones today down 0.55%, the Nasdaq down almost 0.2%, and the SPX as well, downside there today. Here's Wolf Petco, not doing a whole heck of a lot. What we are waiting for is Lululemon, of course, for them to come through. Lululemon, expecting a decent report from them. What we're actually looking for is an EPS estimate of $2.69, so $2.69 reporting for Lululemon. We're pretty excited for them. I mean, I really like the daily chart there for Lulu. It looks like it's trying to inch up just a little bit. I do have everybody here. I want to say thank you for the chat. Thank you, everybody. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're here right now. We'll do roll call at the end. We want to see how many of you stay late with us and how many are with us right now. Adara, over 5,000 people here right now. Wow. Thank you so much for watching. And by 5,000, I meant 4,000. So right there, nice. Thank you so much for watching. Get 1,000 more viewers.
Lulu pushing higher, but I'm not seeing numbers yet. Also, I don't know if you saw the memes comment, but Chio is judging you for wearing an Aloe sweater on Lulu earnings. Looks like Lulu is out here. Yeah, repping Aloe there, showed it to Sean.
Hey, if Lulu beats, we'll wear Lulu tomorrow. I was wearing their pants the last 2 days, I think. How long are you allowed to wear pants before you need to get rid of them?
I don't know. We have HPE and Lulu
you
reports.
You should see the amount of laundry that's going on in my house.
Right
okay, nice move up there right now. What's up, Adam DeLuz? He says hi. What's up, Adam? How are you doing? All right, HPE. It looks like a beat right now for HPE. Trying to get going right now. Ulta Beauty is out. GameStop doing nothing. 29.20. Ulta Beauty reports $5.14. The estimate was $4.52. It's a big beat for Ulta. Ba-bang, ba-bang. I'm not in. All right, Ulta right now. Nice move to the, oh no. I hope my wife is not watching this. Oh no, I think she's taking it, my kid has. Right, okay, Ulta upside right now. We love that stock. Lululemon upside as well. Bang, bang, bang. All right, dear, what do you got?
9% year-over-year increase in revenue to $2.4 billion. I was seeing estimates of $2.35 billion. That would be a beat. Now what about diluted earnings per share? 87 cents, $2.87. We were looking for $2.69. That's also a beat. HPE, I also have these numbers up here. They reported a 15% year-over-year increase in revenue. So HPE here, 8.23 billion was what we were expecting. They reported 8.5 billion. That's a beat. Let's see if I can find these earnings per share. Okay, reported GAAP earnings of 99 cents per share and non-GAAP of 58 cents per share. Both those numbers beat the estimate of 56 cents per share. So HPE beat across the board. Lulu beat across the board. Again, from what I'm seeing now, because sometimes we see different estimates, that's the numbers right now.
Shout out to CompuCare. CompuCare, he's here every day. What's up, CompuCare? He's here every day. He's here every day. What's up, Adam? Everything's going well. Glad to see you here on the chat as well. What's up, the Piper? The Piper says he took $7 on Lulu. Let's go, let's go.
Shout out to the Piper. Congrats there. That's awesome.
Yeah, congrats. So Lululemon, we talked about that possible beat there for Lululemon. I like the stock. Nice move to the upside right there. Just quickly, there's a lot happening right now. HPE looks to be relatively flat right there. We're still waiting for UiPath to come out. We're waiting for DocuSign to come out. Is DocuSign out yet? Maybe DocuSign is now out. We like that stock up to $90 right now for Docu. Things starting to go crazy. We will not forget to end the stream tonight.
No.
Or maybe we'll keep it on. Stay tuned till 4:30 to find out exactly what we're doing right now. Makes sense that Ulta's having a nice upside move. Wouldn't be surprised about the guide. I mean, I already told you, my daughter, she got the little, it's a Sephora, which is LVM. No, Sephora is not Ulta. I forget who owns Sephora. I'm going to have to look into that. But there goes Ulta Beauty right now. Nice little move to the upside.
I have Ulta and I have Docu.
What I was going to talk about with Ulta was the fact that it's the season, right? 'Tis the season to gift giving. And right now, nice move up there for Ulta. You just said you had DocuSign as well. Thank you, Matthew. Matthew saying he loves the show. He loves the energy. It's amazing that we can sit there all day, trade for you. We just get right back up over here. I walk 20 feet and the vibe changes completely. Shout out to all of you guys here on this desk. We love this market recap show, and it's because we have big time earnings. We've got Adara going over all the numbers as well. There's GitLab right now, and I'm going to let you breathe. Let me breathe in 1 second. I'll give it back to you. But there's GitLab right now. Nice move to the upside. The implied move over 16%. Looks like we're getting 8% right now. Everything is beating today. I don't think we have anything that is going to the downside. We're good luck, baby. But that could all change. It's just a matter of time. So it looks like right now GitLab is going up. So LVMH does own Sephora. So we are right about that one. We like the makeup space right now as, hey, we talk about it. Chinese, US, man, it's a consumption-based economy. We're just buying everything up, and including Ulta Beauty. And by the way, you know, we always talk about this, no matter what you think about Lululemon or anything like that. They've had a real nice rebound back to the upside right now. A lot of sort of exuberance there on that report. Touches a high of 380, but it is fading back in. All right. What do you got now? What do you want to talk about, Adara?
I want to go over GitLab, Ulta Beauty, and DocuSign, but I'll start with DocuSign here. So they reported adjusted earnings of 90 cents per share versus 87 cents expected. That's a beat. Sales were also a beat. 754.8 million versus 745.263 million expected. They're at days highs right now, or sorry, after market highs, I guess. Short float of 6.76%. Ulta Beauty, Sean went over that too, but just a reminder here quickly, they have about a 5.8% short float. They had adjusted earnings of $5.14 per share versus 4.54 cents per share expected. That's a beat. Sales of 2.53 billion versus 2.5 billion expected. Another beat. As Sean said, a lot of beats. Now GitLab here, they did name Bill Staples as their new CEO. I looked him up. He was formerly the CEO of New Relic, which does some software analytic type stuff. So it seems like a good fit for GTLB, which has a 4% short float. GitLab did report revenue of $196 million. That's up 31% year over year. Now, that also here, they were expecting 187.67 million, so that would be a beat. They said they also had GAAP and non-GAAP margin expansion. I'm trying to find their earnings per share here. Okay, here we go. GAAP net income, so loss per share of 18 cents here, and then non-GAAP income per share, 24 cents versus estimates here of 16 cents. So it looks like a beat. Some of these losses per share are always a little bit harder to gauge because they use different metrics, but it looks like they beat across the board. Either way, we have a lot of market participants trying to get some GitLab right now.
I like that. So I don't necessarily think that Lululemon is a great buy moving forward. I mean, I think we've talked about Alo, we've talked about Nike, we've talked about Adidas there as well. There are a lot of alternatives to Lululemon. The only thing here about Lululemon that we'll look at just real quickly on the daily, we're still holding that 200 period moving average. I want to be supporting stocks that are above the 200 period moving average. So I like it. I think it's going to be good. You're going to get that cross rate here of the 50 and the 200. Definitely some pressure to the upside right there for Lululemon. UiPath is out. GitLab, again, look at that, $75. Take a look at that. Where's Obi? Can you look at that? Can you look at that? Right there, okay. $77, $78, $80 right there coming through for GitLab. So get ready for that one. Rubrik, RBRK, right now, they've been out as well. Look at this tick higher on Rubrik all the way up here into $63. Oh, we forgot about this one. It's only up 20%, Adara Rubrik.
Oh, we went over that right away.
Right. But just, I ain't talked about it. Okay. We're sort of obsessed with Ulta here and Lulu, but there goes Rubrik. Huge move up. Now breaking higher on the daily chart. There we go for Rubrik. Is this a relatively new name? Where is it here?
It IPO'd in like March or something.
So look at this, man. Wow, what a name. $37, over $65 right now, or $63 for Rubrik. We just got UiPath?
Yeah, we did have UiPath. So here they've announced here, apparently they're going to be integrating Anthropic's cloud language models to deliver next generation AI. So I just want to stress here, UiPath with an AI-related catalyst. I'm not seeing their losses or income per share yet. I'm just seeing the overall number. So I will tell you though, revenue up 9% year over year. They reported revenue of $355 million. Analysts were looking for revenue of $347.65 million. That would be a beat. They also said their annual recurring revenue grew by 17% year over year. So that's a good look there. Apparently they have GAAP gross margin 82%, non-GAAP gross margin 85%. None of these numbers seem super disappointing yet. They're up about 6.5%, and GTLB is still rising. Again, guys, not only did they report strong earnings, but they also did announce that Bill Staples is their new CEO. And here's their guidance, which is above expectations.
Good one,
Q4 2025, revenue between $205 million and $206 million versus $204.368 million expected. Adjusted earnings of 22 to 23 cents per share versus 14 cents expected. GitLab killing it.
I think GitLab might be something here because GitLab, again, that's a great report. Like 22 to 23 cents EPS expected is what they're guiding versus 14 cents. Like 23 versus 14 is pretty big. Oh man, I remember this with Raider Trader. I don't know what his situation is on IoT. I remember before he had puts on IoT. This was the last earnings report. It's too bad if you're around here. Feeling pretty good. If you're around here, Raider Trader, IoT just reported it's down pretty nicely. It's too bad because I would have liked to see what his opinion on this was. Last time he was short, and he talked about that, and it actually went up, and he had to cover. Wondering if he took that short again. But there's IoT right now. Yeah, it's 7 cents versus okay, I won't steal the thunder. You got it, IoT.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. So they did report 7 cents per share for Q3 versus 4 cents expected. That's a beat. They also beat on sales, 322 million versus 310.56 million expected. Now here's where we get some issues, and it's going to be their revenue guidance for Q4. 344 to 336 million is what they guided versus 335.83 million expected. So the midpoint of that, if I math this correctly, would be 335 million, which would be a miss. Then they also here guided, revenue for the fiscal year slightly above expectations. They guided Q4 EPS above expectations and fiscal 2025 EPS above expectations. But that revenue guidance miss for Q4 looks like that's the only real negative I'm seeing right now because they did beat on everything else.
Yeah, I think this is, I mean, unless Lulu turns red right now, Samsara might be one of the only big names, and it's not even that big. I mean, the market cap on this, 4 million shares today is actually no. VSCO is out. Victoria's Secret is out. They may got, I mean, I don't know. Christmas time, let's see what VSCO is doing right now. Upside. You cannot find a losing trade. There goes Victoria's Secret. Nicely done up there to the upside. So I don't know, man. What? Okay, Victoria's Secret. Where's the secret here? $25 just 2 months ago, doubled. Victoria's Secret up 100% in just a couple months. Huge move up for VSCO right now. Okay, good mover right there for Victoria's Secret. Expecting a good guide on that one, I would think. But again, there it goes, Victoria's Secret. Let me check on Lululemon. Okay, Lululemon, chugging away. Back there to the upside for Lulu. You're looking at me like you want to say something.
I do want to talk about Victoria's Secret's numbers, if that's all right here. So they did report net sales of $1.347 billion. That is 7% increase year over year, and it's also above estimates of $1.29 billion. And it's also, it's an increase year over year for them as well. This was interesting too. So they reported a net loss of 71 cents per share. Analysts were looking for a loss of 64 cents per share, so that would be a miss. However, it was an improvement for their loss of 92 cents per share on a year-over-year basis. So they did miss on losses per share, but it improved on a year-over-year basis. We're getting a heck of a topping tail candle, though, in VSCO right now.
I just saw the guide there for Ulta. It's fine, but it's not great. I mean, the Ulta Beauty guide here, 1.1 billion to 1.2 billion versus 1.17. So kind of in the middle with a little bit of a lower guide. It's just funny that like Ulta and VSCO, they're all coming out on the same day right here. Nice move to the upside right there on Ulta Beauty. I want to talk about quickly today, USO was down on the day. I'm going to go over a little bit of a broader recap in a couple minutes because we just have so many earnings.
As well.
I know, and I just saw that as well. Asana just came out. I didn't even realize that. Is it hot in here or is it Asana? Ooh. I don't know. That's okay. All right, so let's see what Asana's doing right now. A little choppy here. Maybe something was released a little bit early, but there's the nice move up. A little choppy, up 13% right now on Asana. What were those numbers looking like?
I can give you those numbers. So they had a smaller than expected. Okay, I'm seeing their guidance here. Let me see if I can find the numbers themselves, but I can go over the guidance right now. Q4 adjusted earnings per share guidance, they're expecting losses of 1 to 2 cents per share versus a 1 cent per share loss expected. So that's a little bit weaker than expected. They're guiding Q4 revenue between 1.75 and 187.5 to 188.5 million. The low end of that does miss estimates. Their fiscal 2025 guide, though, is a beat across the board. Now let's get into their actual earnings because Q3 2024 adjusted losses of 2 cents per share, better than the expected loss of 7 cents per share. For sales, they reported $183.882 million, better than the estimate of $180.666 million. So very ominous estimate there, I guess, there for Asana with the 666. But nice push to the upside. They have a 10.5% short float.
So I'm going to ask a brief little favor of you, and that is that we were talking over and over today about TD Bank, and I mean, that was really gotten hit, and Neil and I really didn't go over too much of that. They reported yesterday, so maybe we can go find out what exactly the problem here with TD Bank was, because this is getting absolutely destroyed. We talked about this again, and the reason why it's interesting is that in Canada, we only have a couple banks, and this one right here on the weekly chart, it looks way different than all the rest. And I know that they've had some issues there with their operations in the United States. They've had to take a little bit of a sidestep on that due to some of the findings that they've had. Some due diligence was not made there by TD Bank. There was different corrupt actions happening, and it was very, very based out. But this drop down right now, breaking down to some levels here on TD Bank on the weekly chart, not looking very healthy. If there's nothing there, we'll get it the next little while. But if you just look at what it was doing today, I feel like sometimes we miss, like, this was a nice move down. It could have been really faded all day. So I want to look at this tomorrow, which is why I'm sort of, I know that's what I'm saying, the money laundering in the United States. So they now are banned for X amount of time to sort of operate over there. And I know that the CEO has been talking about due diligence and looking into all of these practices and talking about a 6 to 12 month sort of internal process there for TD Bank.
Yeah.
So is that basically all that it is?
Well,
right?
yeah, so they said they're expecting apparently fiscal 2025 expense growth to be in the 5 to 7% range. They're expecting expenses to grow. They started their strategic review as of last month. They said it's going to take about 4 to 5 months. They also said they've reduced their U.S. assets using proceeds from their investment maturity, so they're going to be paying down certain short-term borrowing. This report was actually released before the bell today.
All right. So yeah, we sort of knew that, and we were looking at TD Bank for that push back down. All right. Just real quickly, we went over some of those earnings. I will revisit those. I want to thank everybody for staying late with us and making sure to ask us questions in the chat. If there's any sort of stocks that maybe we're missing, let us know ASAP. Here's the stock heat map. Let's just go over a couple quick names on the day, and then we'll go from there, right? So as you can see, Adara pondering life. All right, so Google right now. That was funny. All right, so Google today down that 1%. Although the Nasdaq only down 0.25 at the end of the day, you could see Google today, Meta today. Here, let's just break out this technology sector. Google, Meta, Microsoft, nice little move back up to the upside, holding the Nasdaq above, not above water, but keeping it in and around flat today with that move. I don't even want to talk about Netflix. Netflix continues to go higher. Another day for Netflix, another new high, 0.75%, Meta 0.79, Google as well. Oracle, yucca, man. I just talked about how much I liked Oracle yesterday. They talked about having over 200 or something data centers, looking at over 1,000 in the upcoming 12 to 24 month cycle for Oracle as well. Salesforce, what goes up may come down. Salesforce down 2% today, leading the way there in the technology sector. Bad day for Salesforce. The retail trade continues to be pretty hot. Although Costco and Walmart take turns today. Walmart up 0.9, Costco down 0.9. Amazon 220, although we did get a little bit of a fade off that. We'll watch out to see what Amazon does here into the close. We'll call it up in a minute because I'm not sure what it did. I know Neil was looking at it. We have Lululemon and Ross stores as well today. In the finance spot, we talked about XLF there today. So if we're going to go over to finance and have a quick little look at what was going on. Berkshire today with insurance companies up today. Berkshire up 0.48. JP Morgan and some of the higher quality banks. BAC starting to go back upside. The money center banks. JP Morgan upside. Even the regional WFC, nice move there today, up 0.82. Some credit cards, a little bit of problems. As rates, I don't know, rates seem pretty steady. Will we get that quarter point hike cut? Probably. We can look if that's baked in. Maybe we'll do that in a minute. Right there, AXP downside. FinServe, okay, interesting. That's down 5%. We didn't notice that earlier on today. Citigroup, Citibank, they're 1% as well. So just a quick little look at some of the key names there, what was moving around. In healthcare was very interesting. You were talking about trading. This is nuclear, sorry, NNE. We don't need that. Utilities. In the health space, what? You want to talk about, like, let's slap some fails on here. What's up with this, Adara?
Was a dope short today.
Yeah, it was dope.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if it was dopamine or not, but what was going on with UNH?
Well, UNH, people are still reacting to the fact that, so not United Health CEO,
right,
but United Healthcare CEO was unfortunately shot. I'm not going to get into the details of that because it's not stock relevant, but they are, as someone who was a criminology student, they're kind of wild details. Anyways, so that was kind of what, from what I can tell, like they actually did a price target increase today. They did not care. They sold off all the way through the close. So, or actually they got a pop at the close with imbalances, but other than that, they were weak all day. But I also really quickly wanted to mention HPE earnings here. So they did have a beat on earnings, but they're a little bit down now on their guide. Q1 earnings per share estimates between 47 to 52 cents. The midpoint of this would be 49.5 cents. So that actually would be above estimates, but the lower end did miss estimates. So I guess that's not well received. There's also a super chat. Thank you very much to Easy Peasy, saying that SMCI E-Trade is showing earnings on December 5th, as is Thinkorswim. So they're supposed to report on November 5th. They did not report November 5th. As of right now, have not seen any actual estimated date. We did have the CEO tweeting earlier today, but he was just kind of shouting out basically Elon Musk, and then it actually looks like he deleted that tweet. So it's all very confusing, but we do not have any earnings that we are aware of as of right now. When I pulled up on Benzinga, the only thing from today was that Twitter post.
Yeah, great update there. Thank you, Easy Peasy, for that super chat asking us about SMCI. And if SMCI comes in, we'll any news that hits, we'll be able to find it out right here on our charting software. We'll call it up. I mean, we can quickly look at SMCI for anybody that's still interested or around. 5-minute chart. Again, closes at the bottom of the day. There was a little bit of a push down at the end of the day in the overall market. The thing about this SMH, I don't know, man. I mean, I want to support things that are above the 200 period moving average. SMH actually is. Someone just said, what are these lines on the chart? The green is, if you're talking about mine, the green is the 200 period moving average, is SMA's simple moving average. And then the pink line right there is a 50 period on the day. There's Easy Peasy with another $10. And he says, thank you to Adara. And I mean, that's the thing. We've already talked about Victoria put in the chat how great Adara's been doing. And I've already said this over and over again. Definitely nice to have questions answered and research provided. So that was a great one. I was looking at FXI here as well. I don't love the Chinese names, but again, in a day where it was kind of mixed overall, FXI up 0.3. Maybe they got beat up a little bit too much. The name that interests me the most right here is Alibaba, though, on the daily chart, because looky, 200 period. We love that sort of a play there for Alibaba. The thing about all these stocks, look, if you're thinking like, all right, where are we right now in the market, right? Alibaba's already pulled back. We had that China stimulus package that was coming in September and October, and then I guess it didn't do anything there as China's still in the crosshairs. We had the guy from Florida, not Ron DeSantis, the other guy, who's now going to be the not representative to China.
Not Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
That is who I'm talking about. He's not going to, apparently, not a great choice there by President Trump to support the Chinese trade war. So we'll figure out if there is going to be a war. But that 10% tariff, not horrible. I mean, I don't think that proposed tariff is really going to do anything to that relationship. We'll see once they get to the floor and to the desk. January 20th is going to be an interesting day. President-elect Trump has threatened many things. He's talked about the Middle East. He's talked about tariffs. He's talked about us here in Canada. I just think that for now, settle down with Alibaba and FXI. Let's let January happen, and then we can rebuild trust in some of these names at that point. Hey, what's up, Nimrod? All right. Guys, I bought loads of Uber. Yeah, all right, me too, but not loads of it. I just landed, disconnected all. Now I'm down 10%. Why is Waymo in LA? First of all, I think it was in Miami, is what we talked about there.
Yeah, they're adding
in Florida,
to Miami.
FLA, so dramatic. Okay, so yeah, look, I'm with you, Nimrod, on all this. I had actually lost money. I don't have my account going on right now. Trading Uber to the long side today. I thought there was a chance that we could stop in and around here at $68, but apparently not. Uber, I know you have the story there. I'm going to throw it to you in a minute for this. But there it is, 63. Nice downside move. I think you're asking us, Nimrod, where there could be some support here for Uber. hard to catch falling knives underneath the 200 period. That's just happened. I am not going to be buying anymore until we get into maybe this 63 area. And we're not too far from that, man. It's at 65 right now and change. I think you can get an opportunity to buy some more there tomorrow. The thing about Uber is there are some headwinds, right? There's Tesla coming out with the robotaxi. Now you have Waymo. Whenever you get guns pointed at you, it's not great, right? Unless you're the Penguin. Did you ever wind up seeing that?
No, but I saw the Batman movie from 2022. As someone who grew up on the Batman, I think they did a really good job of capturing like that Bruce Timm style 1990s Batman.
Right. Did you like it, Ramin?
I'm going on like a Batman nerd rant here, so I'll cut that off quickly. But I do want to say with regards to Uber Catalyst, is the Penguin show good though? Because I really like the movie. I thought it was really good. Okay. It's only like 7 or 8 episodes. Oh, okay, that's ezy.
And I think I saw I don't even know, but what happened in the last one where it kind of wraps everything up, I really liked it. And if you're a fan of Batman, I don't know, I like it.
You'll have to check that out.
You love hearing Sean say Nimrod. Why do you like me saying that?
I mean, I'll take a look at this Uber Catalyst here.
Okay.
This is interesting too. We have Debbie Smith saying Uber actually works with Waymo, so not sure why this was a negative for Uber. We don't know for sure it was the Waymo thing. I had been kind of reporting it all day as a 1-2 punch. Tesla was sharply to the upside today. Tesla also got a price target increase here from BofA Securities, $350 to $400. Now, BofA Securities actually visited the Giga Texas factory, and they said they actually think Optimus is a huge driver, specifically mentioning autonomous driving. That could certainly be a negative for Uber. They also were really bullish on the Cybercab, right? But the thing here, too, from what I'm hearing is there could be some concerns that this shift towards autonomous, as exemplified by what happened with Tesla and the move to Cybercab, as exemplified with this Waymo story, which, by the way, actually came out right at 9:30 a.m., which I don't think helped Uber either. Basically, there's this fear that if the autonomous driving continues, there might not be need to hail an Uber driver when you can just get your autonomous taxi or hail your autonomous cab and get your Optimus to drive you right over. So that is my understanding of the sentiment. I am but one woman, so I don't understand everything that's going on there, but this is my analysis as someone who did some research, looked into it, and of course, if I ever find anything else out, you guys will be the first to know.
Right, that's funny, Trixie Hobbitry there. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I really like what happened at the end there. And everyone, and the same thing, actually Marissa said the same thing to me, that she was sort of, into Penguin, the character, until that last episode. And it's just, it's great. For me, I really liked it. Go back and check that out there. Z Penguin, I don't know who's responsible, like who produced that, Warner Brothers or what, but that was a great one there. Yeah, so there's that move down on Uber, and I apologize, there's not too much to talk about with Uber there today, but we are almost getting ready to end the show. It's already 4:30. Ramin has not hit the siren yet, so we can keep on going on that. She's the boss. She's the boss. All right, just real quickly, let's just go over some of these names just real quickly. Let's pull up a 1-minute chart, and we're gonna go over some of these big earnings names, and then we'll let everybody go. So, all right, just real quickly, RBRK. Rubrik was the biggest winner of the day, up over 21% right now as they beat Guide Forward. Great numbers there for Rubrik. The next one here, Lululemon. Bang. I mean, a big one for Lululemon, up 8%. A little bit light on how much we're up. Actually, implied mood, 8.7% you wrote down, Adara, and it is 8.3%. So nice implied move there for Lululemon. Options will be squashed a little bit depending on where you bought them. We'll see if Lululemon can extend that move as well. So that's a nice upside move for Lululemon. Ulta Beauty up 9%, 10% and still going. We like Ulta Beauty. The implied move on that one, 7.6%. Could definitely be a continuation play there tomorrow. One of the best, man. I really like Docu, and my guy Mateo is like, man, why are you still not in DocuSign? I'm like, mamma mia, we should be breaking through 100. He's Italian, Mateo.
I know. I figured it's like you did that.
Yeah.
Mateo's cool.
I'm allowed to do that because, my dad's, anyways. Okay, nice move upside there through $100. DocuSign, can we get that? Yes, we can. We'll see that tomorrow. Implied move 10%, now 17. For DocuSign. Wasn't GitLab a nice little winner as well? Look, in the AI space, in ChatGPT, in coding, in all of this, man, GitLab definitely joining that race as well. It's an arms race right now, and GitLab part of that, up 6%, but disappointing because it should be up 16% right down. Another big one is HPE. We got to go. We got to all get out of here. My son's got chess. My daughter's got hockey. Awesome. And today, Adara.
What?
It's your Green Bay Packers. Not yours, but, our Green Bay Packers playing the Detroit Lions tonight. Detroit is the best team in the NFC. I believe they are maybe 9-2. Green Bay's, I think, is 8-3.
Can I ask you a question? Why do they call them the Packers? Like everybody else is like an animal or like a cowboy. Like what are you packing? Are you packing heat? Are you packing like
Heat.
football?
Heat and footballs.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it has to do with, so it's cheese, it's factories, and it was just the packing industry back in the day.
That makes sense. Thank you for explaining that. Yeah.
I'll have a better answer for you tomorrow. All right, thank you so much to Adair, but we got to do one more thing. Roll call. Yeah, we may lose tonight, but I think the Packers will be fine. I think they'll be fine there tonight. I would take Green Bay with the points. All right, let's just go quickly here. Who's still here right now? You watch football or not really?
I watched. I told you that. I watched CFL. Bombers just lost like another straight.
So the Argos.
I know. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're rooting for?" I'm still Bombers. Sorry, I've been to Argos games. I'm still Bombers. I grew up Bombers. But yeah, shout out to Winnipeg.
Shout out to Winnipeg. Shout out to Winnipeg. What's the weather like in Winnipeg?
It wasn't that bad when I went, but it got like increasingly cold the longer I was there. I don't know what it's like as of right now.
It's always a white Christmas there.
Always. I've never had not a white Christmas.
I like that. My kids are praying for a white Christmas. I don't know if it was one here. All right, who's here right now? It's Daddy Gator's here. He says, I'm here. Bears versus Bulls is here. That's always great. Daniel, beef pork. Yeah, beef pork. All right, Jay Hodge is here. Debs is here. Philip is here. BGZ is here. On the blockchains. Yo, if you're on the blockchains, man, you're off the chains right now because that's a great little move there for blockchain-related entities. Nephew is here. I've never seen him before. What's up, Nephew? With the capital IP. I like that. We hear even on weekends we hear, baby. We don't stop. You're right about that one. Blue Arrow's here. The Piper's here. Innova Entertainment, AOUT. He wants us to talk about that. Simon H is here as well and says, great show. Adara, for a couple seconds, who do you see here?
We had a super chat here from Nimrod.
Good,
again.
go.
Thank you very much, Nimrod, for the super chat. Saying shout out to Awesome Adara. Just realized I always write guys, but I use it unisex. Thank you very much there, Nimrod, for the kind words, and thank you for the clarification. No worries there. We have Kevin Hansen. Oh my God, we have so many people today. Kevin Hansen, Robert Liu, Bright Awakening, Jared Tweedle. We got Moneybag Cat. Hopefully everybody's making bags of money.
Yeah.
We have MS. We have Bears vs. Bulls. Thank you to everything you do. Shout out to Ramin. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Obi, who's still there chilling. Oh boy. Oh boy. We also have Neil, who's not here right now. Joe, Sharif, Brendan, whole team. We got Easy Peasy. We got By the Drip. We've got Soar Up and Right. We have Sauce and Martinez. We got Diane. We have Volky. We have Bob Cran and James Dell. Someone here was asking me to wear green tomorrow. We'll see how I feel.
Sure, let's go. Yeah, we'll see how you, exactly. You do you, Adara. Thank you for the Piper, man. I just saw your email came in. Email us, marketing@tradertv.live. Very, very kind words. He says he loves the energy that you and I bring, and thank you, Adara, for that, as well. Definitely feeding off of each other. So, all right, without any further ado, kind of a red day in the market today. Gold down, oil down, market down, S&P down, IWM down 1.25%. We'll see if we can get that going one more time there. Bullet. All right, man. It's not the club. We got to get out of here. No matter where you are, thank you so much for watching us. Be safe, everybody there in California. We didn't get really an update on that earthquake there or tsunami warning, but get ready. I hope you guys have been ready for that. That you can't ever prepare for those. No. So we'll hope that everybody is safe.
Best of prayers and wishes to everyone.
Didn't affect anybody too dramatically. So be well on that one. Look. Wherever you are, make sure you join us tomorrow at 8:30, where we're live one more time. We're going to trade some of these names off earnings. It's Friday. It should be a great one. We may wear red. We may wear green. The only way to find out is by tuning in tomorrow. Thank you so much to Ramin, who's the last one standing. I'm not going to say thank you to anybody else because they're all gone. All right, potato.
French fries.
We'll see everybody tomorrow. Thanks, Bears vs. Bulls.